Athlete's Profile.
Jamaica's poverty rate has dropped from 16.7% to 8.2%. As the government's economic program begins to pay off, our country is heading towards sustained growth. We are building Jamaica. The time by the office of the Prime Minister is
2:01.
Ew! Baby, you sick? Drink this.
Strong back tonic wine. Oh, baby, you look like you want to sort out.
You think that's all Trangback good for? This delicious tonic wine has natural ingredients like Busy, Medina, Moringa, and more to strengthen your body so you can fight off anything, including viruses, where it sound like you catch. Available island-wide, all foreign. Order at 749-1286 option 1 or IG Trangback TW. Trangback.
Straighten your back for make the attack.
Coverage of the Race to 32 continues here on Nationwide 90 FM. Just about 2 hours and 58 minutes until the close of polls. Of course, you know that when 5 o'clock comes and the polls close, those in line at 5 p.m. will still be afforded the opportunity of voting. So if you're in a long line, and I hear several reports across the country about people frustrated in lines right throughout these 63 constituencies, stick with it, because you have a right to vote even if by 5 o'clock you are in line but have not gotten inside the polling station. Yet fret not, the law dictates that you be allowed to vote. We are continuing our coverage. Cliff just finished a marathon shift, and he is getting ready for the results show, which is the business end of the coverage. That begins, it accurately begins at 5 p.m. because that's when our newscast will be on air. And then once that newscast is finished at about 5:30, 5:35 thereabouts, we will get right into the results show. I remind you that we'll be broadcasting on Digicel Channel 13, Digicel Plus. For those of you who have Digicel Plus, Channel 13 it is. We'll be broadcasting on PBCJ. So those of you who have the other cable provider, you can watch us on PBCJ on the other platform. You can also watch us on PBCJ on Digicel Plus. But why would you do that when you can watch Revo live on Digicel Plus and organically? Yeah, so you have those options. And of course, you can watch us on Nationwide Radio. The type Nationwide Radio in the YouTube search bar, and of course this stream will come up of our coverage. Well, what a morning we've had so far. I was knocked back by the EOJ's report at 11 a.m. this morning. In fact, that EOJ statement was sent, well, not 11 a.m., at 1:22 p.m., 1:22 this afternoon. The EOJ reported that voter turnout was 14.8% for the general election, and local government, the turnout was 12.7%. And I felt that the numbers from the early voting would have been higher than that. Certainly for the general election, I felt it would have been higher than that. But I know how the technicalities of voting work. There would be several people trapped in lines, and based on experience, I would wager a tidy sum that there were more people in line waiting to vote than there would be votes inside the ballot boxes in the respective polling stations. So I take those numbers for what they are and take them as accurate, but I don't think we should use those numbers to gauge what the overall voter turnout is going to be, because of course some people, depending on how you look at it, are having a meltdown, especially given traditionally what they say about low voter turnout. There is still a long way to go. Cliff said it earlier, didn't hint at it, he said it forcefully, that this time of day, this is really the business end of the election voting day. You know, this is where seats are won or lost. You can't win the seat at 11 a.m. You can't win it at 12 o'clock either. You won't win it at 1 o'clock. You can win it from 3 to 5. You can win it from 4 to 5. Yeah? You can't win it earlier than that. And now is a time where the winners and the losers are going to be separated from each other. This last 3 hours, especially the last 2 hours of voting. 3 and 5, I call that the Olympic hour. Yes, I know it's not 1 hour, but an hour can be anything you want it to be. 3 to 5, that's the Olympic. That's like a 100-meter sprint at the Olympics, the highest form of human athletic expression, the 100-meter sprint. Nothing more pure than that. That effectively is what the period between 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock is on an election day. I have Winston Malcolm, our correspondent out there in Portland, who's been traversing both east and west. Good thing he knows the parish like the back of his hand. Winston, good afternoon. Yes, Winston, go ahead. You're live on air. What do you have for me? Winston, are you hearing me? Okay, it appears as if Winston Malcolm is not hearing me. He's on the road over there in West Portland. But yeah, EOJ at 1:22 p.m. sending that press release to speak about voter turnout of 14.8%. That incident in Southeast St. Elizabeth, though, has correctly attracted a lot of attention. And it rubs me the wrong way when our political representatives find themselves in conflict with the election workers. We don't know the circumstances around the altercation, but we know for a fact that a blow was thrown, that a woman was slapped, and it doesn't look good. Whatever it is that led up to that is going to be a matter for the police to reconcile and to untie. But it just sounds, it's abrasive. It just doesn't sit right. A political operative, someone seeking political office, striking anybody, let alone a woman, in the face in the course of doing their duty. Let me go back and check back in. Winston Malcolm, are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm right here, Mr. Davis.
Good afternoon to you, sir. What can you tell me about where you are? Where are you in Western Portland?
I just left East Portland. I'm in West now. The rain has been falling for the last 2 hours. The skies are blue, but rain is pouring. So I have been to 8 polling stations in East Portland and 8 in Western Portland. And the voting is going on, moving smoothly. The police has reported that there's no incident so far, but because of the rain, persons have to scatter for shelter. So the skies are blue again. The rain has stopped. So voting is continuing now.
Remember, I asked you as the expert this morning if there was rain in the air, and you said at the time no. So let me ask you again. Based on what has happened already, between now and 5 o'clock, you expect the rains to return?
No, sir. The skies are too clear. No nimbus stratus cloud. But what, Mr. Davis, this, as one pastor said to me by Obey Voting Center, it's a blessing for somebody. I always say,
it's a blessing for somebody.
Yes.
Do you have any idea at those polling stations? You said you went to eight polling stations in both constituencies, East and West. Did you do a rough calculation or a rough estimate of the voter turnout?
30% of the vote has been casted in 32% to be exact, in East Portland, and in West Portland, it is about 35%.
So voter turnout in West is 32%?
Yes.
And in the East, it's 35%?
That's correct.
Running about equal. So you have estimated the voter turnout in both constituencies based on 8 polling stations, which is a good sample to use to make a determination, roughly 30% in both constituencies. All right. In terms of the energy on the ground, Winston, I asked you about that earlier today. It's coming to close to the wire now. What's the energy like on the streets and among the election day workers?
Well, a lot of the government workers and private sector workers are going to the polling station now because they decided they would leave at between 1:45 to 2 p.m. to 2:30, so they could have the rest of the afternoon. So I expect that influx of voters to flood the polling station across the parish.
Yes, I was reporting earlier, Winston, that the EOJ indicated that voter turnout at 11 a.m. across the island in the general election was about 14.8%. But I did remind people that would have been the lowest point for voter turnout because it would pick up significantly as the day progresses. Based on your experience, is that right?
You are correct. Because the lines are very long now, but because of the rain, persons can't to take shelter. But now that the sun is shining brightly, I expect that the lines will get long and longer as the public sector workers and private sector workers are leaving work to go to their various polling stations across the constituency and across the parish.
Lastly, before I leave you, Winston, have you seen any of the vases? Have you seen Doreen Campbell? Have you seen Isaac Buchanan so far today?
I have not seen any of the candidates, but I was told that Darrell Vaz just left Orange Bay cluster, Orange Bay Primary School, but I have not seen him. I'm in Buff Bay now, so I am expecting to maybe run into him, but I have not seen Isaac, I have not seen Anne-Marie, I have not seen Doreen.
Hear you on that. Thank you, Winston. Good job out there in Portland for us, Winston Malcolm, the man straddling East and West Portland. Doreen Campbell is the PNP's candidate running against Darrell Vaz in West, and in the East, Anne-Marie Vaz is trying to protect her crown from Isaac Buchanan. Well, she's not the MP because if there's a no result, there'll be no MP for East Portland until an election is run, but she won the last time and she's looking to repeat. Isaac Buchanan is looking to enter Gordon House in that constituency. Robbie and Williams is in Western St. Thomas for us. Good afternoon, Robbie.
Good afternoon, George. Good afternoon to our viewers or listeners. It's a very, very hot day over here in St. Thomas Western. We have been roving between St. Thomas Western and St. Thomas Eastern. It's very calm. It's very calm up to 1 o'clock. It was very calm here in Western St. Thomas. Orderly, I must say. It has been orderly. The polling stations that we've visited, we saw people patiently waiting for their turn to go into the polling, the PDs, the different PDs, and they were, for the most part, orderly. No confusion, no contention of any sort. They are waiting. They're sticking with the process. And I must add that the voter turnout is a little bit low on this side in Western St. Thomas. We spoke with the incumbent, that is James Robertson. We spoke with him earlier, and he too agreed to say that the voter turnout is low so far. Based on the EOJ, we're seeing 14% for St. Thomas, up to 11 a.m., 14% for St. Thomas Western, and for St. Thomas Eastern, we're seeing 13%. I can tell you that is way off from what the original, the total turnout for St. Thomas Eastern and Western have been in the 2020 general election. In the 2020 general election for St. Thomas Western, the total votes percentage, we saw 35% voter turnout. And for St. Thomas Eastern, we saw 37%. So still early in the day. We have more time to go, but I must tell you that the voting is rather slow over here.
All right. Stick with it for us, Robbie and Williams. She's driving across constituency lines, yes?
George, if I must point out, no, on this day, election day, we know that bars are not supposed to be opened and giving patrons or giving customers any alcohol, any liquor. I can tell you that we've been roving and we see where people are drinking, and we also see where people have poured liquor in their cups to mask it. We've seen bars opened as well and serving.
Yes.
So that's what.
So the law is being broken
over here. The law is being breached to some extent, and as I say, they are trying to float it by pouring the liquor in cups to mask it. But you know, we're observing as we go along, and this is what we've been seeing. Eagle-eyed
observation there. Thank you, Robbie, and all the best to you.
All right, George. Thank you.
Robbie and Williams over there in Western St. Thomas. It's just like in the States. You go to the corner store and you buy a bottle of 40, and you get it in this brown paper bag. You're walking and you're drinking. Nobody can tell you what you're drinking, even though because you're not supposed to walk with a bottle of alcohol on the streets and consume. So she says, Robbie and Williams, that they're masking the liquor and bars are doing a rip-roaring trade when they ought not to be selling alcohol on the day of a national vote. We take a break here on Nationwide's coverage of the race to 32. More after these.
This is the World Championships Athletes Profile.
The Jamaican starts well. Here's Shanika Ricketts, silver medalist. This is round one for Ricketts, who hit the board really well.
Triple jumper Shanika Ricketts will be attending her 5th World Championships as she leads Jamaica's medal charge in the event in Tokyo, Japan in September. The 33-year-old former Vere Technical High School standout appeared at the 2015, 17, 19 and 2022 editions and will be looking for her 3rd medal, having bagged silver in Doha and Eugene. Jamaica's reigning Sportswoman of the Year has won medals at every major global championships, her biggest moment coming at the Paris Olympic Games in 2024, where she won silver.
Shanika Ricketts, twice a World Championship silver medalist, flies down the runway, hits the board brilliantly. Oh, Ricketts turns up to the party.
Ricketts is unquestionably one of the true global stars of the event, and she's steadily building into her season. Who'll bet against her finally hitting the top of the podium in the Japanese capital?
Every season the aim is to be on top of the podium. This season is nothing different, and I think I have too many silver medals now. I'm going for the gold this time.
Ricketts will be in action on day number 4 of competition in Japan on September 14. The final is 2 days later on September 16.
I think it's just about grit and just putting in the work. It doesn't matter what happens before you go into major championships, it's just what happens on the day. And the only way you can control that is by being consistent. So that's what I'm focused on doing.
Follow Shanika Ricketts at the World Championships in Japan on Nationwide 90 FM.
That was the World Championships Athletes Profile.
There have been some minor incidents across the island, listeners, that we must tell you about. There's one that I have been trying to confirm for some time now, and I've gotten a confirmation on it. I'm going to tell you after this report. You'll want to hear what I have to say about that. Let me do this report, though, with Mahiri Stewart, who's out there in Northwest St. Anne for us. Good afternoon, Mahiri.
Hello, George. Hello, listeners.
What's happening, man?
Well, I tell you what, man, I am almost taken aback by how chill everything has been. Northwest St. Anne is a very, very calm place to be, and it's filled with calm people.
What gives you where exactly are you, and what gives you the reason to be saying so?
Right, so I've been to 3 polling stations so far, and we are heading to a 4th. We are on our way to Brownstown. We're going inland now. We spent most of our time on the coast and near that side this morning, following Crystal Lee and Gabriela Morris. But now we're going a bit inland. We're going towards Brownstown at the moment. And I can say, spent majority of our time at Runaway Bay Primary and Infant School earlier this morning. That's where most of the commotion was. That's where both the candidates came, not to cast their vote. Crystal Lee cast their vote at Runaway Bay, but Gabriela Morris did hers up at Belfield, which we also visited afterwards. And after we went to Belfield, we went to Discovery Bay All-Age, which had a whopping 10 PDs. And there's a lot of commotion there, but nothing tense, but hectic nonetheless.
Which of the candidates had the bigger entourage? Not that it points to ballots in boxes, but just to get a sense of the theater.
Well, to be honest with you, I would say it's split down the middle. I haven't gone anywhere where I'm getting the vibe that they're more comrades than laborites. I think this is actually going to be a very close matchup if just the eye test is to be used.
Yes.
Because I'm seeing equal number of people on both sides. It doesn't look lopsided. There's nowhere I've gone so far that's been lopsided or overly one to the other party. So to be honest with you, it's split down the middle as far as I'm concerned.
I know.
But maybe that will change when we get to Brownstown.
Yes, I know you've mentioned how chill proceedings are in Northwest St. Anne, but do you get a sense of, do you expect the emotions and the feelings to be turned up a notch as we enter the final stretch to 5 o'clock?
It may, and the reason why, when I was at Discovery Bay, one of the voters told me that because of the area we're in, there are a lot of hotel workers, and those hotel workers are going to be using their 3 hours around now. So for the places we've been to so far that haven't had as many people as expected for the morning, the afternoon is going to be a different story. And when those hotel workers come in, that's when I think the energy is really going to get ramped up, because that's when the agents are probably going to be at their hardest. That's when they're going to be working at their hardest as far as I'm concerned. It was pretty hectic earlier in the 10 a.m. regions, the 9 to 10 a.m. regions around Runaway Bay. But if the voters to be believed, the afternoon session is where the real work begins.
Yeah, and just before you go, Mahiri, finishing off this excellent report, have you seen enough people to be able to split them into 3 camps? Those in green, those in orange, and those in neutral colors?
Well, there are definitely more partisan people than non-partisan people. I've been seeing comrades and laborites galore. I've been seeing pro boxes with green flags. I've been seeing pro boxes with orange flags. So it's hard for me I can barely even identify any. To be non-partisan in Northwest St. Anne would make you stand out, if anything, if you weren't wearing orange or green.
Excellent. St. Anne is the parish of the Pro Box. It's the first place the Pro Box emerged as the national car. Yeah, the taxi.
I didn't even know that,
Oh yes, man. I first saw them in Exchange in a place called Hand to Mouth in St. Anne there, Northeast St. Anne, where Ryan Simpson and Matthew Samud are doing battle next door to where you are. Anyway, Mahiri, thank you very much, my friend. Last before we go, is there any threat of rain? Because there's been rain in certain parts of the island so far this afternoon.
Can I tell you, I had just told my colleagues, wow, it's raining in Portland. That's crazy. Sunny skies here. Not even minutes later, the drizzling began. So it is drizzling right now, but it is not, I wouldn't call it rain. It's definitely not showers, but it is drizzling, and there's a lot more cloud cover now than before. But I don't think it's going to be anything crazy that will delay any proceedings, but it's definitely wet now.
Hear you on that. Thank you very much, my friend. All the best.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Mahiri Stewart there talking to us from Northwest St. And I see VB in the chat. VB is so nervous. She's just typing all kind of things. She wants update on Norman Scott and the worker in St. Elizabeth. That's after we interviewed the worker and heard that she had filed a report and that she had been given pain medication by her doctor, that she's a 3-time stroke survivor. I don't know what more you want from that, VB. We've been trying to get Norman Scott. His phone has been turned off. You've been asking about what's going on in Portland. We just had a report from Portland with Winston Malcolm telling us about West and East. So you're so nervous, VB, you're not even listen to the radio and watch the YouTube. We've covered all of the things that you've asked about. People keep asking me about my finger. See there? See my finger there? Hold on, let me put it somewhere where they can see good. See there? Yeah, man. See the finger there, man. Do the business already. Doing my small part. Yeah, my small part. The job is done. Hear this now. You remember I was telling you, well, let me deal with the serious matter first. I've been trying to confirm, as I said to you, a report that I had received, and the police have confirmed, and I'll get to Clive Josephine Johnson Howell very shortly. So my contacts gave me an update about a matter in North Central Clarendon, and I did confirm with the police after some time. I had to call a few of them to get the information and to put it together. Here's the thing now. Apparently, a gentleman in North Central Clarendon went to cast his vote. This is not a rumor, people. This is not a made-up story either. A gentleman went to cast his vote in North Central Clarendon. And when he went home, he apparently declared that he had voted against the party that the rest of his family members who were eligible to vote and who had voted for. And I was told that he was assaulted by his family members, that they gave him a severe beating. I heard it first and it sounded like a gimmick. I called and the police have confirmed that it did indeed happen in North Central Clarendon. Man attacked and beaten by family members after declaring that he had voted against the party that those family members had voted for, that or say they voted for. Nobody knows your vote, but everybody knows which side them supporting. So he went home and said, yeah man, I'm voting, I'm a vote against Fonaside. And he was severely beaten. And the police had to intervene, and the man has been taken for medical treatment. So I'm confirming that that happened in North Central Clarendon, hoping to get even better particulars for you. My cousin Clive now. Oh boy. So my cousin Clive, who flew from Canada to Jamaica to exercise his right, didn't get to do so and won't get to do so, listeners. Because remember I told you this morning, our friends were helping him to find his name because his name was not at the usual place he voted. That's because as a policeman, Clive is still registered on the EOJ's, listed as a police member of the JCF, and he should have voted with the police last Friday. Now, we all know that the rule is, if you're on the police list, you are therefore excluded from voting with the civilian population, which is us. So Clive missed his chance. He should have voted last Friday. So clearly, if they look for his list till the Lord returns on the civilian list, looks for his name on the civilian list, they'll not find it because it's not there. By virtue of being on the police list, Clive's name is not on the civilian list. So he will have to hug up that L, because that was a major blunder for all of the, I did cuss off some of them, because how you tell the man that this was the situation, that he had to do the necessary communication with the EOJ so they could know that he was no longer a member of the JCF because he's lived in foreign for so long, and that his name should be put on the civilian list. It wasn't done, and he came looking for his name there. It doesn't exist there because his name was on the voters list, closed from last Friday, when police, military and election day workers and special electors, all of them are special electors, were eligible to cast their vote. I hear that Tawna Thomas is with me. She's in St. Elizabeth. She'll tell me precisely where right now. Good afternoon, Tawna.
Good afternoon, George. I'm at the Pedro Plains Primary School, which is in the Pedro Plains Division in Southwest St. Elizabeth. So I'm now over in the constituency where the incumbent is Floyd Green, going up against the PNP's Dr. Miranda Wellington.
All right. And tell me, what's happening? It's 2:28 now. We're approaching the critical period. I always drum into all of the reporters' heads, Tawna. Are you feeling the shift in energy? Are things ratcheting up?
It is tense. It is absolutely tense. Not long ago, we were driving to make our way to this location, and a vehicle with a lot of orange cloth on it sped past us so fast on a very narrow road. And I said to Jerome, I understand. We're in that final leg now where runners are buckling down, and I can tell you, trying to get any of the candidates or their key operatives, you will not get them. We have tried numerous times. Mm-hmm. They're just not answering their phone, and that is understandable because everybody is out now. I would like to believe, George, that they have done their midday 1 o'clock canvas.
Yes.
To see where they are in the game. And they are making that final intense push now to ensure that they get all of their voters to the different polling locations before the gate closes at 5 o'clock. What is also they have to pay attention to as well, we're on the plains here, Pedro Plains. It's funny, but looking up now to the Monroe area where the windmills are, quite overcast right now.
I was going to ask about the rain, yes.
It seems as if it's going to pour. It seems as if it's going to pour in no time, and you know how rain does. It affects voting. People don't want to come out. Added to that as well, we have been to a number of locations in the Southwest St. Elizabeth constituency. For example, we went to Big Woods Primary, where frustration abounds because you have a lot of elderly people there. They left, they've come back, they're threatening to leave again because of the slow nature of the voting process, which has been a common complaint across the island since the gates and the polls opened at 7 a.m. today.
Yeah, and I asked you about the heat, the rain. What about the heat? Because you know I always trouble you about how hot. I swear that Black River and Santa Cruz are number 1 and 2 in terms of being the hottest places on island Jamaica. The heat a bother.
It is hot. It is absolutely hot. I see people in cars delivering cold drinks, water to their workers and other people around. I see people patronizing a lot of the little shops on the outskirts of many of these polling locations. It is hot, filtering in some of the instances across the 2 constituencies. So people have to be staying hydrated. Where I am now, George, Pedro Plains Primary School, there are about 100 people across the polling divisions here. I was counting all of the members of the electorate in line. Many of them, they have their umbrellas. And I'm telling you, it's so unfortunate and it breaks your heart to see some of the elderly, they're leaning over on chairs. And if they're not moving, they're patient, they're waiting, they want to cast their ballot, but it's the condition under which they have to wait to do so.
Yes.
Kind of saddening.
Yes. Well, Tana, here's the thing. You know the area well, and you look up to the hills in Malvern where the windmills are, and you say rain is in the forecast. For the sake of those who haven't voted yet, I hope the showers, the big man holds his hand up and holds the showers up. We can take the showers after 5 or after 6 when the lines have emptied. Just before you go,
here's what I would encourage everybody who's in the hearing of my voice. They are casting their ballot in southwest, southeast, St. Elizabeth.
Yes,
you haven't left home yet. You're about to bring an umbrella.
And just before I go, have you heard any reaction yet to reports that we're getting out of southeast St. Elizabeth, that altercation between the PNP candidate Norman Scott and the indoor agent for the JLP?
So at this moment here is the update I can provide. I spoke with someone who is close to the matter moments ago, and she was able to tell me that the victim is still at the police station, making efforts to give a statement, but expressing concern about how the police are handling that matter. I'm not there. I'm just taking what has been presented to me by somebody who's close to the situation. The person also indicated that the MP candidate has been driving up and down around Junction, and they're questioning why has the police not done anything about that.
Hear you on that. Thank you very much, Tana Thomas. All the best to you.
All right, thank you, George.
Tana there in she's in Southwest St. Elizabeth giving that report. Orain Buchanan is our man up in West Rural St. Andrew. Good afternoon, Orain. What can you report?
Good afternoon, George. Good afternoon to the listeners of Nationwide 90 FM. So a lot has changed since we first spoke this morning, George. We first spoke at the Stony Hill Heart Academy where it was balanced between the JLP and TNP in terms of the turnout of voters there. Then we traversed to Brandon Hill Division where we went to the Oberlin High School where it was surprising in terms of the turnout. The PNP supporters were not happy with the turnout up until about midday, George.
Yes.
With the turnout, Brandon Hill is a division that the PNP were banking on to get maximum votes for Joan Gardner-Webley.
Yes.
There, up to midday, they were ruffled in terms of the turnout. A lot of whispers among outdoor agents as if where the persons were coming from, and it was kind of confusing in terms of the turnout there. Then we were just leaving the Rock Hall Primary School in the Red Hills Division. It's Jada Kingdom F for the PNP. It's heavy for the PNP in this division.
Yes.
But we have to leave because the rains came down, torrential rains, George. So that's the word from Rock Hall there. PNP out in their numbers in this part, surprising to what happened at Oberlin High School.
Yes.
Where surprisingly they were low in the turnout in which they were banking on.
Yes. We're approaching the critical hour now, Orain. Do you think the rain will spread further across the constituency? You live there, you know the place well.
Yes, sir. I'm envisioning that.
So the rain is likely to play a serious hand in what happens in West Rural St. Andrew from this point. Thank you, Orain. Anything else you see, you alert us and we'll join you.
Not a problem.
All right, good. Taking a break now here on Nationwide 90 FM. The race to 32, 2:35, 1 hour and 25 minutes to go. That's what, 60 and 25? 85 minutes left to determine which government will be in charge for the next 5 years.
Decorate like a designer with BH Paints. The time brought to you by BH Paints is
2:36.
Ew! Baby, you sick? Drink this.
Strong back tonic wine. But baby, you look like you want to sort out.
You think that's all Trangback good for? This delicious tonic wine has natural ingredients like Busy, Medina, Moringa, and more to strengthen your body so you can fight off anything, including viruses, where it sound like you catch. Available island-wide, all foreign. Order at 749-1286 option 1 or IG Trangback TW. Trangback.
Straighten your back for make the attack.
As we grow older, there are many challenges that we have to confront, but these years can represent the best in our lives. Coming of Age during Nationwide This Morning on Thursdays explores issues persons 50 and over confront. It also provides expert opinions on how we can improve the quality of our lives as we get older. That's Coming of Age, this and every Thursday during Nationwide This Morning at 6:51 a.m.
Do you have a consumer-related issue? Want to learn more about matters concerning you as a consumer? Well, keep it locked to Nationwide 90 FM for the Consumer Hour with me, Nora Gay Banton. Weekdays from 9 to 10 a.m. For all your consumer-centric matters, stay tuned to the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
And as the reports come in, I give them to you. You notice that we've not only restricted the coverage to election matters, we've been telling you about other things. I'm getting a report here, a report from a very reliable source, that shots fired in the McCookspen area, one confirmed dead, and I've been told that the suspected fatality is a gunman, an alleged gunman. I'm being told it was a shootout between police and gunmen in McCookspen. McCookspen, of course, is in the southwest St. Catherine seat, where Everett Warmington is being challenged by Dr. Kurt Wall. So in McCookspen in southwest St. Catherine, I'm hearing that police and gunmen had a confrontation in the area and that one of the alleged gunmen shot and killed. Actually, this is being further corrected to say it's Wheatley's side. It's Andrew Wheatley's side. So that would be South Central St. Catherine where this incident happened. Not in Everett Warmington's constituency, but Dr. Andrew Wheatley's constituency. One dead after a confrontation between police and alleged gunmen. And that I'm getting the information fresh as the incident happened. So that's what I'm reporting on that matter. I turn to Colesia Wright, who's been driving through the corporate area working. Colesia, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, George. Good afternoon, listeners.
What can you tell us?
Okay, so right now I'm here at the Sherlock Community Center in the Chancery Hall Division in the constituency of Northwest St. Andrew, where the JLP's Dwayne Smith is going up against the PMP's Ethne Miller Simpson. I can tell you, George, that currently voters are a bit frustrated due to delays in the voting process. I'm being told that some persons came and left because the waiting period was too long. Going around the constituency in general, the voter turnout has been very low. I'm not really seeing a large number of voters out at the polling station. And also I wanted to note this as well. Here at the Sherlock Community Center, we're being told that some voters are being given one ballot instead of two. Because remember, you have the general election and the local government election here in the Chancery Hall Division.
Yes.
So they're also experiencing frustrations with that as well.
Yes, and just to correct myself, I said 1 hour plus, it's 2 hours plus. My people on YouTube are saying, George, what's happening to your math? Yeah, thank you very much. But Colesia, you worked that constituency in the by-election when Dwayne Smith won, and you would have also seen low voter turnout. Is it similar to the by-election when almost nobody turned up?
Right. I was going to mention that it's a bit similar to the by-election voter turnout. In fact, I'm looking at the turnout and I'm like, it's a little surprising that it's not different from what it was in the by-election.
Yes.
It's very similar. The turnout is very similar.
Well, here's what you can do, Kolisi, as you go through that constituency and the others, because you're doing North Central, you're doing Northwest, and you're riding in Northeast as well. If you could ask the outdoor agents as you go along, if they really expect things to pick up from here on, given that 5 o'clock is approaching, or what we've seen so far is the best it will get. And then for your next report, you can give us that addition to the summary.
I will do that.
All right,
I will
then.
do that.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much. Kolisi Wright for us there in Northwest St. Andrew. She says that the voting is slow at the polling stations, and she says overall voter turnout appears to be low. Not many people turning out to vote for Ethne Miller Simpson or Dwayne Smith, based on what Kolisi Wright is seeing. Who do we have now? Llewellyn Winter is telling us about, man says, biblical rain in parts of Kingston 6. Winter, good afternoon.
Afternoon again, brother.
Where are you, son? What's happening?
Right now, I'm by the Mona High School. And surprising to say, George, just a little drizzle here. But coming along Hope Road, Manuel Road, Wellington, Jidwa, I can tell you, the rain, the water is coming down the road as if a river, a bank have broken away. A lot of dirty water coming down on that road there. You know, they are doing some construction on that roadway.
Yes.
Lane pipes and so forth. So no one knows how safe that road is going to travel at this time, because the water is very heavy coming down that road. Right onto Monroe Road, right up to Hope Road,
yes.
Just below Mona High School.
Yes.
But I'm by Mona now, but the rain has abated a bit.
Yes.
Right now, so it's not as heavy as it was before, down that side.
But tell me now. Go ahead, Quinta.
Surprised to know that when the heavy downpour just cease immediately as I reach by Mona School. But I can see where the grass is wet and the outfield is very saggy.
Yes.
I mean, there are a lot of rain here too. As we speak, it's coming down again.
Yes, you would know from your experience, Winter, that rain affects motorists and pedestrians in different ways. So those who in constituencies where they have to walk or depend on a ride to go to the polling station would be adversely affected. But those who drive may just brave the weather, although some people don't like drive out in the rain, eh?
Yeah, the rain is different because the motorists are not driving due care either. Because when they are driving and passing you, it's like you have to stop to gain vision again, because the amount of water that they splash upon you
on your windscreen, yes.
And that dirty water, you cannot see nothing. You have to stop to allow it some time to dry. But I'm not seeing much pedestrian on the road. The cars are parked along the polling center. The agents are shut down at that time. But apart from that, John, everything is going smoothly. Yeah.
All right, Llewellyn.
And all is in place now. I pass by PMP headquarters and they are setting up their thing. GMP headquarters, same thing. Vendors are out more than the vendors are going to take over the entire street. So when I get there later,
yes.
I don't think anybody will to park. The vendors are out in their numbers.
More sellers than buyers at this point. All right, man. Thank you very much.
No problem. Anytime, brother.
Llewellyn Winter out there in Eastern St. Andrew giving us that report about how the rain looks as if it's shaping up to affect things. Heavy rain along Old Hope Road, Old Hope Road, Monroe Road, Wellington Street, that general area. All right. Let me just, before I go to Dana Davey, who's in Central Westmoreland, Godfrey Smith in the YouTube chat says, George, my wife is voting for the first time after years of teaching about the success of the party has paid off. Kevin Lawrence says, George, not everyone would get 2 ballots in Northwest St. Andrew, as not all would live in the Chancery Hall division. Very, very right. You are, Kevin Lawrence. Not everybody voting at polling stations in the Chancery Hall division live there, so they wouldn't necessarily, not everybody going to a certain polling station would get the 2 ballots. It's based, of course, on where you are, even though your PD is inside a particular polling station, inside a cluster. Dana Davey, Central Westmoreland, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, George. How are you?
I am nice and cool where I am. I hear that the heat is beating you bad out there in Westmoreland.
Well, actually, it's looking very dark right now, like it's setting up to rain.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm here in Central Westmoreland. While there was a bit of activity in Eastern Westmoreland, there's virtually no activity in Central Westmoreland. I have been to a few polling stations, and it's just quiet. The last 3 locations I went to, there was nobody in the line. I'm not sure if it's because of the time now, because it's a few minutes before 3 o'clock. I'm not sure if it's because of the time, but there's nobody in the lines. I'm hearing election workers calling out, asking if there's anybody outside to vote. There is nobody outside to vote. So there is virtually no activity here, based on what I'm seeing in Central Westmoreland, where the PNP is Dwayne Bars is going up against the JLP's George Wright.
Yes, no convoy, no group of supporters. You know, the men on the Pro Box or the motorcycle styling on the road, drinking the special, smoking the spliff, nothing like that?
I'm seeing people scattered, seeing people in their colors scattered, but barely, very barely.
So Central Westmoreland appears to have taken a lunch break collectively, the whole constituency, based on what our reporter Dana Davies is telling us. At 2:47 p.m. Dana, there's a lot of time for activity to heat up. Please be in touch with us when it inevitably picks up. That last hour is going to be crucial because the runners, those managing the process for both parties will perhaps have accommodated for the lull, but even so, they'll be lining up the runners to go bring the people out before 5 o'clock. Thank you very much. Dana Davy out there for us in Central Westmoreland, and it's been she drove from town, stopped in East Manchester to vote, then Eastern Westmoreland, Central Westmoreland, and she still has Western Westmoreland to tackle. It's a tough shift for Dana Davy, but she's doing well. Let me take a break and come right back. This is Nationwide 90 from the race to 32, and watch us style now. It is 2 hours and 13 minutes before the polls close. So that's what? 120 and 13, 133 minutes to go. All right? Good.
Ew! Baby, you're sick? Drink this.
Strong back tonic wine. Oh, baby, you look like you want to sort out.
You think that's all Trangback good for? This delicious tonic wine has natural ingredients like Busy, Medina, Moringa, and more to strengthen your body so you can fight off anything, including viruses, where it sound like you catch. Available island-wide, all foreign. Order at 749-1286 option 1 or IG Trangback TW. Trangback.
Straighten your back for make the attack.
Track and Field's global showpiece heads back to Asia for its 2025 staging. The World Athletics Championships from Tokyo, Japan is live on Nationwide 90 FM. September 13 to 21.
Great start from Seville, who's got a little bit of a march on Noel Lyles. Seville's going to win this. Brilliant race. He even has time to salute.
How will the Jamaicans stack up? The likes of Kishane, Oblique, Nikisha, Tina, Sherika, and Lavelle, all seeking podium spots.
Really good running on the near side too from Tia Clayton. Tia Clayton takes it there.
And the world will say goodbye to Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce.
Watch for Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce.
She brings the curtain down on her 18-year career. She goes back to where it all started.
And she's going to do it. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce.
Live every moment from the World Athletics Championships from Tokyo, Japan, September 13 to 21 live with a kind of coverage only Nationwide 90 FM provides.
.49 on the clock. 2:49 on the clock. We are providing rolling coverage. We've been at it since 6 o'clock. We started doing the contacts, the live links with our correspondents just after the 7 o'clock news, and we've been unbroken since then, and we'll be unbroken except for the news at 5. We'll be rolling right through till a winner emerges. I'm being told that I have a lady who won in Central Manchester in 2020, Rhoda Moy Crawford, with me. Good afternoon, Rhoda Moy Crawford.
Good afternoon, Joe.
Are you hearing me loudly?
Yes, I'm hearing you. The connection is not very good.
Okay,
Good afternoon.
Yeah, man, I'm hearing you clearly. What's up? How have you performed so far at 2:50 p.m. on this election day?
So far, we're looking very good. I don't want to say too much to provoke the opponent. into swifter action. But we're looking very good, George, in all the PDs. We've been getting the reports, but we have a major concern. Just 5 minutes ago, we got a report of major intimidation in Davidton in the Belfield division. We are told that the opponents are blocking off access to the polling station with a large contingency of bikes and cars. The police made contact with my close protection officer to say that they have dispatched units there. So I'm heading in now with my close protection officer and my team to see what's happening. My party workers there have been making contact and they're expressing fear. So we're going in to see what exactly is happening.
From where you are now talking to me, how long should it take you to get to where the action is?
It will take me about another 5 minutes.
Okay.
Or less. So we're going to try and get there as quickly as possible.
Yes. Well, what we will do then, Rhoda Moy Crawford, because I'm keen to hear how this resolves, because there should not be any obstacle placed in the path of people wanting to access the spaces that voting should take place.
Even as I speak to you now, because we pulled over to get better connection, and I'm going to take the license plate, a red car decked in orange has come in front and parked almost to be blocking me in, and I'm seeing, I don't know if I should go ahead and call his name. I won't say
don't leave out the name for now, yes.
We'll take the photos right now, but they're blocking my exit out to get into Davidton.
And so you say the police say they've dispatched a team, but that team is not there yet?
I'm not sure if they're there yet. My close protection officer is trying to get back to them, but I know some units are on the way.
Well, MP, listen, you are lawfully expected to move into spaces to observe the voting. So if you have your close protection officers in tow, I know you're a brave woman. Since they blocked the vehicle, you should come out of the vehicle and walk.
No, man, I'm going in because I'm not going to leave my party workers feeling fearful. I'm going in, so we're going to be in there together.
Well, all right, we'll check back in with you. We'll give you some time, and we'll check back in with you to find out how that situation resolves.
Okay, thanks, George.
You're welcome. Rhoda Moy Crawford over there. A spot of bother in central Manchester, she says, in the Belfield division. Davidton, rival supporters have blocked the road, preventing vehicular access. She says her workers at that polling station are feeling fearful because of the level of intimidation. She says the police have been contacted. They say they've dispatched a team. Herself and her close protection officers are making their way. They'll have to do it by foot because she says a vehicle blocked the access path for her vehicle, so they have to park and walk, but she says there's no power that is going to stop her from going in, especially to give some support to her workers there who are not feeling so secure at the moment. Election day is these activities are expected on election day. People will push the line, will push the boundaries, will toe the line, will go beyond the line just to get an advantage for their party. And based on what the report is from Rhoda Moy Crawford, that appears to be political gamesmanship at its highest, borderline political gamesmanship, perhaps trespassing into criminal territory. But we'll wait to hear how that resolves before we cast a verdict. I've been hearing contrasting reports from central Manchester. A good friend of mine called me earlier. He's in banking, a senior figure in banking, and he said, George, the PNP gone home with this. I heard from another man, a businessman there, who says the Labour Party is holding it. I've just heard from Rhoda Moy Crawford, who says she's comfortable. She's happy with where she is at 254. I interpret that to mean she wouldn't be happy if she was trailing or losing. So yeah, it's just different things coming out of the seat, and people are going to have different sets of information, and they're going to make their determination based on what they have. And we'll never know until the votes are counted where the seat is heading, or where the seat indeed has landed. All right. So at 2:55 p.m., just to tell you some of what is being said online, I have 5,017 people with me. Oh, must I praise the YouTubers? Must I praise the listeners? Must I praise the viewers for being with us from morning? We've embarked on a new journey. Listen, listeners, viewers, if you ever know what we've been up to over the last 72 hours, even from last week, to get in shape to be able to do this election coverage for you from where Cliff has been working out on Cliff Hughes and Lion and Nationwide at 5 since morning, and where we're going for the big election coverage later. The men and women involved have worked miracles, several miracles, a series of miracles to get us to this point. And I want to tell them I really appreciate them for the work they've done. It's not done yet because the big dance is coming up from 5:30. And that's the dance that we have to be on our best. We have to get the moves right, the coordination right, the synchronization right. We have to perform because you expect nothing less. Honeybee, I saw someone asking about her earlier. Honeybee is back home. I hope she didn't go home to take a nap. I hear she's working for us in northern Trelawney. Good afternoon, Honeybee, the stinger.
Good afternoon, George. Oh my gosh. Yes, I'm here in my home parish, but no, I am definitely not napping. It is way too hot for that. Way too hot for that.
Where exactly are you and what's happening?
Okay, so I am in Duan Vale. I just passed through Duan Vale. I was at the Duan Vale Primary School in the Sherwood Division, Trelawney Northern. In fact, I just saw Tova. I just saw Tova Hamilton. Had a brief chat with her. You know, she's constantly on the move, going to, you know, the different polling stations and, you know, showing her support to the people, encouraging them. And she's getting the numbers, she says. And she's happy for the turnout. And I was asking her what she's going to do between 5 until, you know, the election is called. And she's like, you know, I don't know yet. I'm just going to chill. I'm cool. I'm cool as cucumber.
Yes.
That's what I'm getting from her. But honestly, it's so quiet. It's so quiet and so peaceful. I was listening to Mahiri earlier talking about St. Anne. I'm telling you, down here, the people, I don't know. The people are just, they don't care. They're just coming out there voting. They're going back about their business. There's no hassle, no problem. Jamaica, no problem. Trelawney, no problem. Really.
Yeah. What about on the other side of the coin, Dr. Wickham McNeil and his his legion of supporters in North Trelawney? What can you tell us about how they've been getting on since polls opened?
It is the same thing from the People's National Party supporters. Dr. McNeil's supporters are out in their numbers. In fact, when I stopped in Perth Town, the booths, the JLP and the PNP tents, they were so close together, they were basically sharing a tent. So they're really just having a good time together. In Falmouth, though, in the Falmouth division, you know, you did have some people, you know, showing a bit of, you know, hostility and mouthing and saying, hey, you know, it's over for Tova, we're over with Tova, and so on. But what I can tell you, though, is that for some of the JLP supporters, they're saying, hey, we know Dr. Wickham McNeil did not vote here in Trelawney. He voted out west. So he must go back where I'm come from. Like, that's what people have been saying. So I'm like, okay, guys.
Yeah.
But overall, it's been very peaceful. And people just have been streaming in, doing the voting. I have about a 19% voter turnout at about 2 p.m. when I did my calibrations. It was at about 19%. So we're yet to see, you know, the majority of people come out to vote. So let's see what's going to happen up until 5 p.m. today.
Last question before you go, Honeybee. You're from the place. Based on the heat right now, are we likely to get rain?
I don't think so. It's sunny and beautiful here. I don't think the rain's going to get to this side, George.
Hear you on that. Thank you very much, Honeybee. All the best.
All right.
Link you again. Honeybee there in Northern Trelawney. And the technical man, Andrew Anderson, says, George, take a break. Back with more after these.
As a parent, you give your children a good start in life. You nurture, protect, and guide them. Parenting is a process that prepares your child for independence. As your child grows and develops, there are many things you can do to help your child. Stay tuned to The Big Show, nationwide this morning, for parenting tips. Fridays at 6:53 a.m. Only here will you learn everything you need to know about parenting. Tips to help parents navigate the incredibly challenging and rewarding journey of child rearing. Parenting tips on Nationwide 90 FM, the revolution in media.
Hi there. Here
here's some good news for these trying times. Quote, by God's word, I can see where I'm going. They throw a beam of light on my dark path. Unquote. Psalm 119, verse 105. Listen for God's word weekdays at 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. through
Oasis. Stop by for a refreshing drink and share a God perspective for the day.
Oasis. Weekdays 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. right here on Nationwide, a revolution in media.
The rebroadcast of the Oasis can be heard weekdays at 5:45 a.m.
These are the things that cause the runners and the party organizers on the day to have migraines. You know, these are the things that cause meltdowns and serious health problems. Imagine you've done your organization for people to come out and vote. You know who have vehicles, have access to vehicles, those who you have to provide vehicles for, and you've planned your day to say, okay, this is going to be a slow period, but these people will come out. This is going to be the Olympic period, so we'll have to go for these people. And then your people go to the polling station. Yeah, whether you're labor writer or comrade organizer, it applies both sides. You go to the polling station, your voters go. They wait interminably long in the lines. They leave and go home. That is what causes the organizers to have meltdowns, because it mashes up the plan, because the time you spend trying to get to those people, to get them to come back, is time that would have been used to do other things, the other phases of the plan to execute. So you all think election day organizing is easy on the day. It's not. You have to have nerves of steel. You have to, listen, you have to get down and dirty sometimes, because that's what it takes. I've seen it firsthand with several of our foremost individuals who we all have respect for, as we should. But when it comes down to crunch time, they have to get down and dirty, and these are some of the things. So it's highly frustrating when your plan goes askew because of things like going to the polling station, lining up. You're there for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and you're frustrated, and you go home and you turn off your phone, you're not taking any calls. So that puts the canvas in jeopardy. And people are running around, driving to your yard, trying to find you in your yard, trying to get you back when you were there before. But because of the process and the system, you didn't get to do what you have to do, and you have to leave. And then resources have to be redirected to try to get you. And that's what upsets the balance. I'm going to Wayne Walker, who's out there in Eastern St. Andrew. Good afternoon, Wayne.
Good afternoon, George. I'm joining you from New Providence Primary School. I'm in the Sandpipe Division, of course, you just mentioned, in St. Andrew Eastern. Not a great deal happening at the moment. And I just couldn't take no more of Central Kingston. It was buzzing. Just too much fun down there. I had to retreat. And when I made my way uptown, it was raining because it was really hot and the sun was out in Central Kingston. But a lot was happening, especially at the top that the opposition leader popped up with the candidate for Central Kingston, Steve McGregor. I mean, a lot was happening. Excitement everywhere. I don't think he'd want to think it was good excitement, but from a journalistic standpoint, as somebody looking on, it was real fun. I didn't want it to end, so I ended it. So I'm back up in St. Andrew Eastern. As I say, not a great deal happening here on the property of the New Providence Primary School. There's 7 polling divisions on the compound, and at the moment I'm looking at just a trickling. I mean, there's a line that looks quite kind of impressive. You put that in quotation. There's about 15 people in it.
Yes.
And then as you look around, there are 1 or 2 of the workers. You know what it resembles? It resembles a post-lunch period at a school, and all the children retreat to their classes after lunch, and the yard is just empty.
Yes.
And there are 1 or 2 teachers just looking around to see if there are any delinquents hanging around still and don't want to do classes. Yes. And that's what you're getting here. And it's been raining buckets in the constituency, because I just heard a report about 3 reporters ago where you were talking to a gentleman, his name escapes me.
Llewellyn Winter.
Oh, yes. He got it spot on. The place, it's raining buckets. It's really, really great. I'm even tempted to say we're getting the heaviest rainfall of anywhere in the country at the minute. But let me hold my peace with that. But it's really, 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 really heavy. George, I've grabbed a hold of a Nationwide fan who just exercise the franchise. I'm going to allow him to introduce himself. He's showing me his voter ID. So I'm just going to allow him to introduce himself. Just to sort of find out, what the process was like. Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. I want you to tell George. And I'm the senior. The original.
Right. So, George, you're not the original, all right?
All right, sir.
You get who I'm talking. You get who I'm talking to.
Yes, sir.
What was the process like?
It was pretty easy. I came this morning and the line, probably 15 to 20 persons were in the line, and I decided it was the wait was too long for me to wait. When I came this afternoon, just now, there were just 2 persons inside the line. So it was pretty easy. Didn't take much more than about 5 to 6 minutes, and I was in and out. This morning, I don't know what was happening, but it was really not moving and was just taking too long.
Yeah. I was talking to somebody from the electoral office just now, and she was telling me that there was a decent turnout early this morning. And just like you're saying, she said quite a few people, turned away. But at the moment, you can't help but to think that the rain is having an impact, right?
Probably. And I'm just coming from off Manningsville Road, where I took somebody, a wheelchair person, to get to vote. And it was the same. A long, long wait. Probably she spent nearly 1.5 hours in the line just waiting. And I think that they were giving her a blight. She had a walking impediment, so she had a blight. But it was too long. Yeah. I think that's the only thing I would complain about. It's too long. I don't know if the workers taking extra care, or it seems like a lot of persons don't have their ID, and that is taking too long, including Cliff Hughes.
Including Cliff Hughes. Tell you what, go home and watch Cliff and George and the rest of the Nationwide people. Listen to Nationwide, and of course there's Revo as well. So you've got options.
You don't have to tell me that. I know. Thank you.
Nationwide man, right? All right, all the best. Take care.
Yeah, man. All right.
All right, yeah, George, you can take it back.
Thank you very much, Wayne. Thank you, Wayne, for that nice report there from Eastern St. Andrew. I understand Chevon Campbell, the man who has been with the opposition leader all day. I wonder if he's had lunch. Chevon, good afternoon. What can you tell us? Where are you?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, George. I'm actually now in Old Harbor High School. That's Southwest St. Catherine, where I'm about to do my own civic duty. As you said, I was following Mark Golding throughout the day, but around 3 o'clock, they decided that it was time to return to PNP headquarters after traveling much of the corporate area and a few sections of Portmore to visit his candidates and to show up support for the People's National Party.
So he's retreated to the PNP's election center for now, having done his duties in the corporate area.
That is correct. The day started out in northeast St. Andrew, where he cast his ballot around 7 o'clock that morning. He then took a trip back down to southern St. Andrew, where he is the current member of parliament, and he did a tour there. Then he went over to central Kingston to tour the area with Steve McGregor, their candidate for that area. Things got a little frosty there in central Kingston around Almond Town. When he was visiting the Almond Town, I believe it was the basic or infant school, I can't recall specifically which one. But on exit, he was, I want to say, doused with some liquid. Someone threw a liquid at him, and the CPU officers had to step in to address the crowd and try to get him out there. After that, he then went to Portmore and toured the area there with Raymond Price.
Yeah, and you are at Old Harbor High now, you say, doing your duties.
Yes,
and then
my own civic duty, which I hope to wrap up shortly.
And then
quite a few crowds here. But
and you will be back in time for the rest of your assignment.
Yes, I will then head to PNP headquarters to oversee as the election night unfolds.
Tell your pilot to gas up the jet because he needs to get back on time, all right?
Will do. Thank you, George.
All right, then, Chevon Campbell there. He's finally getting a chance to cast his ballot. Yeah, it's what now, 3:09, so we're officially now into that last 2 hours. And I wonder if I should tell you which seat. I remember very well in 2016, it was, as I was standing, no, it wouldn't have been. Yes, it was 2011, not 2016, 2011. I wasn't on the road in 2016. In 2011, I was in a particular seat. And up to this point in the day, after 3, the favorite and the man who eventually won the seat his runners at this time, they were just riding along that straight road there, and they were doing stunts on the motorcycles, and they were playing music, and they were smoking spliffs, one spliff behind ears, one in the mouth corner, one a bill, so at 3 spliff that them I work on, drinking up the special, and it was just pure vibes. And then a certain individual who is now in the parliament came out, and I was taken aback by the language used in the direction of the runners and the organizers. But guess what? It was a language that was needed. Yeah? Sailor language, man. Industrial language. And that was like a collective slap to, I shouldn't say that in the context of what happened today. No? That was your parents hold your shoulder and shake you. Shake sense in it. They were given a collective shaking. And then all of a sudden you saw people getting into vehicles, driving off, go pick up the lady who have 1 foot down there, so go pick up my so-and-so around there. So, and I swear to you, I watched that in action, and it was in the last hour that candidate pulled that victory off. And had that figure not been there to get the workers who were now partying because they felt that given the people that they had brought in earlier, that the job was done. Had that figure not been there, the history of this country would have been different, I'm suggesting to you. Anyway, Rhoda Moy Crawford is back online. Rhoda Moy Crawford, what can you tell me now that you have entered the space and seen things for yourself?
Yes, so I am in the space. I did have to exit the vehicle to walk to the polling station. There's a high police presence here. There's also a team from MOCA. They have since been able to clear the road. The opposing side, they've been positioned at one side, a couple feet away from the polling station. So vehicles are now being able to come up, but that has really, what happened earlier, significantly delayed, the voters. So I just gave the voters and the workers some assurance, and things are progressing now. The roads are clear, so I'm going to move into some other sections of the Belfield division now.
So the bottleneck has been eased, is your report?
Sorry?
The bottleneck has been cleared.
George, are you still there?
Yeah, man, I'm hearing you loud and clear. So I'm just asking to confirm that the bottleneck has been cleared in Daviton.
Yes, the bottleneck has been cleared. There's high police presence, including a team from MOCA.
Excellent. All right, so you say you're going through the rest of the Belfield division now. At what time do you go to your office to await the results?
So I'm going to head to the counting center for 5 p.m. The counting will take place at Manchester High School. So exactly at the close of Manchester High School.
All right, she's cutting in and cutting out, but I did hear enough. Manchester High School. Rhoda Moy Crawford, thank you very much. The line is interfering with the flow of the communication, but I heard you loud and clear. All right, we got enough from her. So she says high police presence there. So the police that were dispatched got there rather quickly, and they have restored order. There is no, as the former public defender Earl Witter loved to say, ingress and egress where the space is concerned. You can enter and exit, and people are able to vote. The bottleneck would have frustrated some people. Let's hope that those who were frustrated and went home can return. They don't live too far and they have their own transportation. And let's hope that the parties who have the party vehicles can reach them in time to bring them back and put them in line at least for 5 o'clock. I see people in the chat asking if the voting day will be extended. I think we may need to place a call to the EOJ, Michelle, to just ask Dania Harper, if not the Director of Elections, what obtains for areas where the voting process has been disturbed by worker or party instigated events, if it is that the voting day will be extended, and what the law says about that, just to provide clarity to my many users of YouTube who are asking that question. Break time here. The race to 32. Nationwide 90 FM's coverage of the general election 2025, the 19th since universal adult suffrage in 1944.
Are you ready for something mega?
Spend $6,500 or more before GCT, drop your entry in the box and you could win a 2025 Hyundai Tucson. It's the Mega Wheels Tour promotion, April 5th to September 28th. Second prize, a $50,000 shopping spree every month for a year. Third prize, a $30,000 shopping spree every month for a year. Brought to you by Hyundai, Redstone, Heineken, True Milk, Grace, Walker's Wood, Downing, CPJ Daiquiri, and Carryburst Juice Concentrate. Only at Megamart. Locations island-wide. Megamart. Best value by far. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Fantana, make me tell you about Fantana. Make me tell you about Fantana. Make me tell you about Fan. Nothing when me need to lock. New school year with me new backpacks.
Get all you need for back to school from Fontana Pharmacy. Shop from now until September 7th and get 15% off your regular school supplies. Conditions apply.
Let me tell you about Fontana.
Spring into style with Unique Living. Upgrade your home with our extensive range of products. Get sleek shower panels, stylish vanities, LED and non-LED mirrors, plus kitchen sinks, closet solutions, ceiling fans, and more. Available in various finishes and sizes. Visit shop number 6, 30 Dunrobin Avenue, Kingston 10. Call 876-755-3661 or visit our website at www.uniquelivingja.com. Don't wait to spring into style with Unique Living.
I'm Dennis Brooks.
I'm Alan Campbell.
I'm Floyd Green.
And I'm Garth Williams. Catch us on the Jamaican Dads podcast right here on Nationwide 90 FM, Thursdays at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Sundays at 6 p.m.
The Jamaican Dads podcast is all about providing men with a healthy, safe, and functional forum to tackle many of the taboo topics that concern our masculinity.
Like everyone else out there, we're dads of varying amounts of experience who come from different backgrounds and often view the world differently.
We're definitely not perfect, but we are all brethren and we're all committed to this piece of rock called Jamaica.
Too often, there are no safe spaces for men to explore the issues which are important to us.
Plus, most of the content out there about parenthood is produced by women, for women. So we think it is important that we be the change we want to see.
Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Jamaican Dads with a Z.
And definitely join us here on Nationwide 90 FM every Thursday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Sundays at 6 p.m. for the Jamaican Dads podcast. It's a revolution in media.
Welcome back to Nationwide 90 FM, or rolling coverage of the Race to 32, the battle for Jamaica House. 63 constituencies, all of them voting began around about 7 a.m. I didn't get any report of any polling station which opened at, say, 10 o'clock, as used to happen in the past, or that opened and had to be shut down and all of that. None of that so far. But the EOJ reporting at 1:22 p.m. that the voter turnout as measured at 11 a.m. was 14.8% in the general election and 12.7% in the local government by-elections that were being contested. I see people asking about the latest voter turnout. I'm checking my email constantly and no update yet from the EOJ. The last message from them came at 1:22 p.m. I am turning now to South Manchester, Ian Ives versus Peter Bunting, and Damien Scarlett, the Reverend, is down there for us. Good afternoon, Damien.
Hi, afternoon, George. Afternoon to the listeners.
Excellent, man. Where are you in South Manchester? What's happening?
All right, so we've just entered into the Knockpatrick area, heading on to Cross Keys. We were able to stop at the Bessara in front. When we stopped there, we saw representatives of both parties, but there were no voters in the line at that polling division. So we are now over Bessara Primary, where there's much more activity. There are a number of voters in the line. I'm waiting to see if I could have a conversation with perhaps the supervisor on the ground just to get an idea of how voting has been going since morning. But things are quite calm over here. It seems as if that this location is picking up. More supporters are coming for the People's National Party. I'm also looking on the ground, and I'm seeing that both representatives of the PNP and the JLP, they're just having casual conversation. Other persons are in the line waiting to cast their vote. So I can give you some more information. But based on what I'm seeing so far, they're looking quite happy, and there's no issues here.
Very well. All right, Damien Scarlett, South Manchester, stick with it. We'll touch base with you again. So at 3:20 p.m., no update, further update from the EOJ, which gives me a chance to take some of your calls. 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, 618-8255. It's the day of days, a very long election campaign climaxing now, and I've been told reliably, won't say the source obviously, but I've been told reliably, got a phone call during the break, that there's a meme making its way around with some erroneous information, very erroneous, against a particular individual, a prominent figure in these elections, to say that the person has been arrested by a law enforcement agency. Clearly, it's a rumor and a lie based on what we know at 3:21 p.m. on this Wednesday afternoon. But you know, elections, hijinks attends to elections is how I'll put it. Bobby is online. I called this afternoon. Good afternoon, Bobby. Where are you calling from?
Yes, I'm calling from the Ensom City Primary School.
Yes, man.
Yes, I want to tell you that last year and the year before and the other election before, we had a journalist from your station visit the location here. But this year I don't see anybody. So I had to call in now and give you the report. So I don't know if Cliff Hughes will send my check via a wire transfer or what.
I know Cliff would have sent the check in, so me would have sent it. It's just like public procurement, you know, when the figure is over a certain amount. So when you talk about your 50 million and your 100 million now, Cliff work with that. Otherwise, you have to talk to me. So we'll talk after the year. So what's happening at Ensom City Primary? And remind my viewers and listeners which constituency you're in.
Well, this is the St. Catherine Central constituency.
Yes.
And I can tell you, from morning voting is going on smooth over here. It is incident-free, and actually, we don't have no problem over here so far.
Problem-free so far at Ensom City College?
Problem-free so far.
Yes.
And I should commend the police, the auxiliary police, and the EOJ workers, and also the indoor and outdoor workers and so on. They are doing an excellent job here.
Excellent. Did you vote at the place you're working now, Bobby?
Oh, Judge.
Yes.
If I am on the air and Miss Grange is my MP, and if she hears say I don't vote, I can't face her tomorrow. You know?
The purpose of the question was to find out if you voted there. You could have voted at Friendship Primary around the road or somewhere else. That's what I mean.
Well, my vote is at the same location.
Okay, your same location. Very well. All right. Any threat of rain over there at Ensom?
No. It's blazing hot over here.
Yes, man. All right. Typical Spanish town weather at this time of the year. All right, Bobby, thank you very much. And send the invoice now. Make see what we can do for you.
Okay, then.
All right, Bobby.
He'll certainly do.
Really appreciate it, man. Really appreciate it. Citizen journalism there. Brooklyn is online. Good afternoon, Brooklyn.
Hi, afternoon, George. How you doing?
Me good, how you do?
I'm excited. I voted from minutes to 11 here in southern, Fitzjackson constituency.
South St. Catherine.
Yes, so it's my first time voting in this area.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, voting green. So I want to give Fitzjackson a notice. So look here, we're tired of you. So, yeah, man, I'm happy I went out very bright and early.
Yes.
And I'm happy to share my mom, just because I'm doing, we're doing all the calls. My mom in southern Trelawney.
Yes.
She called and said, guess what, Daddy switched to green. So, yeah, man.
You see?
Yes.
Brooklyn.
Yes.
Brooklyn, you want to lock me up, because I'm happy that you tell me where you vote for. That me never ask you, because they can't lock me up if me ask you,
No, that's fine. And I want to commend the nationwide team. I'm very impressed. I was always long awaiting the TV. So I'm seeing Revo TV. I am hooked onto it. So the other local stations,
Yes.
bye-bye. I'm hooked on to Revo TV.
Brooklyn,
Yes.
I can tell you something. You know how many women have messaged me to say, then George, Cliff so good looking. Some say, boy, I didn't like them, man. I didn't light and the makeup, man. Them say, in general, look young and he look good. No, but me look good looking from morning, Brooklyn. I'll put on that bad light and me look good. Yeah,
my mom is in her late 70s and she said, no, man, I want to have George give trouble because he's so cute.
Well, thank you very much, man. So you've done your business and now you await the results.
Yeah, man, I'm here. I'm locked in on Nationwide, the only channel for me and my family.
Excellent. We're going to keep your company all the way through, all right?
Man, all the time.
Excellent, Brooklyn.
Bless up and cover.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good. So for the record, Brooklyn called and volunteered how she voted. I never asked her, so please no file no report. Make them come lock, camera go lock me up in the worst police station in the corporate area. It used to be Central. Nobody want to go Central, Hunts Bay. I'm a friend run off Central still, so maybe when they put me in a guard room. Anyway, Errol, good afternoon, Errol. What's up?
Bless up, John. Bless up.
What go on West Kingston, man? How you do?
Oh, everything cool and curry and everything good at West Kingston.
Yes.
Thing done up.
Yes. What are you doing the business this morning?
Well, me go vote 2 o'clock.
Okay.
You know why me did the work.
Yeah, man, you're a worker. I know you're a worker.
So me leave work 1 o'clock. I'm gonna come straight to the police station.
Yes. I spoke to Desmond McKenzie earlier on the program in the morning session, and he said he would have voted about 2 o'clock. Where did you vote? At Tivoli High School? Denham Town. That's where you're from.
Yeah.
So well, I mean, your constituency is you can count that before the elections start. Yeah. So you're comfortable there. What you picking up otherwise? Because I know you have your feelers all about in Errol.
Cool, man. Everything green. Green.
Yes.
I know me just go buy me liquor and thing and come put on me things that go cool and you don't know, look more at Belmont Road, you see?
I hear you, sir.
Yeah, man. You just go buy me liquor and set up it in the cool thing and you know what I say?
Yes, man. I know the vibes.
More abashment.
So let me ask you a question. What kind of liquor you buy? Red Stripe or Heineken?
No, me have Campari.
Campari?
Me have Jagan and Double 7.
Double 7?
I'm much about 3 Magnum in the thing, you know?
All right, my boss. I hear you, sir.
Cool, man.
All right, sir. I hope you get the chance to enjoy yourself, whatever the result is.
That is a must.
All right, sir. Thank you, Errol, as usual. Thank you. Chris is online. Good afternoon, Chris.
Yes, Uncle George. Afternoon. How you doing?
Then you sound like you're older than me, so you call me uncle.
Well, sorry, sir.
I try. Anyway, where you calling me from, Chris? What's up?
Well, saying I've been catching here, 12:40 I went and do fold my little piece of paper.
Yeah.
Over by the Jose Marti there.
Yeah.
It was a good little vibe. It's more liberal, more than orange.
Jose, whose constituency is that at Jose Marti again?
Benny's there.
Oh, that's Eastern St. Catherine.
Dwight Peku,
yes. The Reverend Dwight Peku.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it was really nice.
Yeah, man.
People sat and laugh and build a little vibe.
Yes.
And I went in and do my thing and presiding officer was so nice.
Yes, my presiding officer was very nice too.
Yeah, I have a bigger up to
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm.
But we just said peace.
Yes, I love it. I love that call from you.
Don't
Peace.
bother with the foolishness.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
I look at things with Mama Juliet. Come on, man, don't do that. You don't deserve that.
Yes.
And Sister Rhoda. No, man, don't do that.
Yes.
And people are nice people, no better.
Yes.
I let me hear them talk. When I interview them, I couldn't miss sister them, man. Yeah, man. So we just want everything peaceful and we just sit back and listen to the radio with TV tonight. And we just, but my thing there. See?
Yes.
One Bogart,
Okay, that's your thing there.
The youth, man, me can't start back life all over. The youth can do something already.
Yeah.
Make him continue. Me can't start life back all over.
All right, sir. Take time before them say me allow you for your campaign.
I'm sorry.
Respect, Chris. Respect for the call, man. Every time. Yeah, man. All right, Chris. Chris there with a call from Eastern St. Catherine, where Denise Daly Denise Daly and Reverend Dwight Piku are going at it, the PNP JLP divide. Andy is online. Good afternoon, Andy.
Hey, George. What's up, man?
I'm good, Andy. What's up?
Yes. I exercised my franchise moments ago, you know?
Where? Yes.
Someplace in Westmoreland.
Someplace in Westmoreland?
Yes.
Which side? East, West, Central? How you go? Central. I hear you. But our reporter told us that it was very much muted in Central Westmoreland about a half an hour ago.
It's rather quiet.
Yes.
Rather quiet. For contrast to I wasn't physically there, but the nomination proceedings, what I see online and on your channel there.
Yes.
Quite a contrast,
yes,
you know?
Yes.
I'm assuming a lot of those persons aren't on the list or they're not voting or what. But I call to say, your evening results show.
Yes.
I'm not advertising for any telecoms, but I know Digicel you mentioned, but the other one, that's the other provider I have.
Yeah, simple thing, man. Just go PBCJ and we'll be there because we're carrying the coverage live on PBCJ. They're carrying it, yeah, man. So you're good to go.
Why I asked that, George, it's so convenient because sometimes I do press last on my remote to see what's going on over the other place.
Yes.
I'm not clear in terms of the analysis and the commentary.
Superior right here.
Far superior.
Yeah, man.
This morning, while having breakfast, I was watching that particular channel, and when I heard a lot of inaccuracies and nonsense, I said, "But these young reporters, these people are so out of touch. They're talking about their reporters are focusing on battleground, and they mention some traditional, what I would say, PNP seats in St. Catherine, and like the one where." Dayton Campbell and what's his name? Not Dayton Campbell. Crawford.
Yes, Damian Crawford, Northwest St. Catherine.
Right. I don't know what the constituency is.
It is Northwest St. Catherine.
Northwest.
Newton Amos and Damian Crawford.
Right, and Fitzjackson one. In
South St. Catherine.
South St. Catherine, and I was saying these are not upsets can happen. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
But traditionally or historically, these are relatively safe PNPC.
Yes.
Am I correct?
You are 100% correct. And you know, Andy, the thing is this,
I think. Hello?
Yeah, man, I'm hearing you. Andy?
Hello?
Yes, Andy, I'm hearing you. Not hearing me? Look like something happened on Andy's end. Andy, you're not hearing me? Hello? Yeah, man, I'm hearing you. You hearing me? No. All right. I think we should take the break. Just to say that, broadcasters, station bosses, they get away with a lot because they have bright youngsters, and there are bright youngsters throughout the media, across stations. But you do those youngsters a disservice when you ask them to take on tasks that it is people with the knowledge and experience can do. Yes, I'm not blaming the youngsters because they're doing the assignments that they have been tasked with. You can't fudge an election coverage. You can't fudge a general election coverage. You either know or you don't know. You can't smile your way and just say some things that will all make sense. Not with election coverage. You're going to look like an idiot. And, I'm sorry, but, it appears as if some of our people have put some of our youngsters in a position to fail. And it breaks my heart. Anyway, back with more after these. This is Nationwide's coverage of the race to 32.
A big deal when we touch the ground. Yeah, I KFC when we're pulling up. Anything for the taste of a KFC, big deal. The time by KFC is
3:34.
Getting ready for school is as easy as KB. Shop at Kingston Bookshop between July 14 to September 6, 2025 for your chance to win big in our back to school promotion. Spend just $5,000 before GCT, shop online or in store, and you could win $150,000 in cash, an HP laptop, or a Samsung Galaxy Tab A9. It's back to school the easy way, only at KB. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Here's to the story. Not just any story, but the story. The kind every writer dreams of, filled with characters collected from near and far, forging a tale that's unpredictable, yet impossible to forget. And the best thing about this story, it could be yours. Here's to the story.
This is the World Championships Athletes Profile.
Keep the applause going for the Tokyo bronze medalist. Let's welcome Megan Tapper.
To every single one of you, I am so grateful. Big up on yourself. This is not just from me. This is from you guys.
Megan Tapper is a 4-time national champion and still wears the tag as the only Jamaican woman to win a medal in the 100 meters hurdles at the Olympic Games. A major feat when you consider the country's rich history in the event. In September, she goes back to the scene of that historic achievement, the Tokyo National Stadium, where she took bronze in 2021. Only this time looking for more precious silverware, and this time at the World Championship.
Going really well on the near side, Megan Tapper. Megan Tapper storming away with this one, takes it.
Tapper has been in supreme form this season after slamming a world-class field to win the national title.
Megan Tapper goes in lane 6, won the Jamaican Championship 2 weeks ago in a personal best. She's in fine form.
She again took apart the best in the world to win in the Monaco Diamond League, equaling her lifetime best.
That was the World Championships Athletes Profile.
.37 p.m. I just held this comment from M. Morant. I welcome you back to Nationwide's coverage of the 19th general election since 1944. The Race to 32, our coverage is called. M. Morant says, everybody always going for Fitzjackson's seat. And the truth is, he is a great MP. Same way people always want to replace Warmington, and he's also said to be a great MP. Come on, people. Get real. So Fitzjackson getting some love there because this platform hard against Fitzjackson. You always find negative comments. So it's rare when you see a comment positive for Fitzjackson. So I had to highlight that one because, them always tell us Fitzjackson vulnerable. This is the year and Fitzjackson is always standing. So I don't know. See Denzel M respond to say, great MP. Which Jackson you talking about? Kiss me teeth. See there? Boy, I tell you. Annie? Oh, Karen, beg your pardon. Karen is online. Good afternoon, Karen. Oh, the call dropped. 3:38 p.m. So we have what? 22 minutes going up to 4. And then from 4 to 5, we will have entered the final hour. So if this were horse racing, we'd be just now turning for home with under 2 furlongs to travel. And the whips are out. All of the jockeys are riding hard, and it's now grinding to the finish. And this looks like it's going to need, they say that the photo finish judge will have to separate the winner from the loser, because it's not a case where the leader has cantered into the straight with a huge lead, with everything else toiling behind in their wake, and the jockey is looking all around and blowing kisses to the stands and doing poses for the camera. I didn't catch that, Kevin. Alric is online. Good afternoon, Alric.
Mas George, Wagwan.
Wagwan, my friend. How you do down there in St. Elizabeth, sir?
Well, we do go to the boat from 9 o'clock and come back home and watch on the station.
That is, where did you vote, sir?
Morningside. I'm in Southeast, Morningside Primary.
Okay. Seamless process for you?
Yes, when I went there, there was around maybe 30 to 40. Yes, there are four polling stations there. And the seamless process, I was like around 15 in my line. When I got inside, it took me 3 minutes to get out. The presiding officer was very good.
Yes.
Told me the name of the 3 candidates, handed me my ballot, told me what to do. She checked my fingers before with a light to make sure that I hadn't voted already.
Yes.
I went behind the screen. I was back out in 3 minutes.
Yes,
but,
yes.
My problem was what some senior citizens were walking with sticks and so. Some people had to allow them to go in before them. I think that after this, the electoral office will have to provide some kind of... But it was a primary school, so what happened? I think they found some chairs.
Yes.
A couple of them.
Yes, yes.
They sit down.
You know, I felt bad, Alric, when I went there because there was there were crowded lines. Of course, there were about 4 different lines to enter the building where the different PDs were. And I felt bad being escorted to the front of the line. But, you know, the people there, I mean, they're all people that I knew from I was a little boy till now. So they understood, but I still felt bad joining the front of the line and going in and coming out with them still standing. But nobody complained. I just felt bad. And very professional from the staff. I haven't seen my voter's ID, Alric, since about 2002, the first time I got it in 2002. And I haven't seen it since then. So they did the necessaries. I swore on the Bible and I was out in very short time, and the staff very professional, and I had no trouble whatsoever, and it didn't take me 5 minutes despite not having an ID. Alric has fallen out? All right, Alric's call dropped down there in St. Elizabeth. We're trying to check in with Maxine Bisesa, who's in St. James for us, watching St. James very keenly because Dr. Andre Horton and Marlene Malahoo fought in that punch-up in West Central St. James. No surprises expected in Northwest St. James, where Dr. Horace Chang is expected to come home for the labor rights. Central St. James, Leroy Clark says he's fine, but if you follow the comrades, they'll tell you that Janice Allen has a very strong chance of dislodging him. And then in South St. James, Nikisha Burchell is on record as saying that she will have 3,000 more votes than Homer Davis when the counting is done in South St. James. So you can understand why St. James is keenly contested. Speechless in the chat says, George, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Oh God, Speechless. Oh God. Then if my drive go all the way a country, Speechless, and the people down there who have all day, they're not going to country, they're not going to town when they finish, and they see me come, then it's my community, you know. They are going to take care of me. So they are the ones who say, yeah man, come on the front of the line, and them not complain, so why you are complaining? I don't understand you. Anyway, Maxine Bisesa is online. Good afternoon, Maxine.
Good afternoon, my brother. How are you?
I am fine, my sister. Long time. What's happening where you are?
Things have slowed somewhat. It's that time of evening. Persons are gathering. That moment when you see the stickers are coming out and persons are getting ready to apply their seals to their boxes. Vehicles are turning in the direction that they are expecting to drive. So it's full preparatory mood for delivery of the boxes. The voters are coming in slowly. I'm in the Anchovy area at the moment. Voters are streaming in slowly. There are still persons lined up. In queues because, again, majority of what we see here in South St. James is persons showing up without the voter cards, especially the elderly. And I'm not sure why this is so. Mm-hmm. And with that, they now have to affirm or swear. And in previous years, you would still, once you show up with a form of identification, you would have been given the opportunity to go straight to the presiding officer, then do the processing there. Mm-hmm. what obtains now is that you are intercepted on the outside, you complete the form, complete a form, sign it, and then, so there's a verification process on the outside,
yes,
and then you also go inside and do similarly with the presiding officer. So it's like a twofold system, but with that, the process is delayed. So at 5 o'clock, what may be coming across throughout the country is large numbers of voters in queue waiting to complete the process.
And that's a perfect point to make at the end there, Maxine, because I'm happy Maxine said that, because that gives me the chance to remind the listeners and the viewers that if you're watching and up to 8, 9 o'clock, the result not emerging, it's because of these later votes, people in the line at 5 o'clock that have to be accommodated. Those votes would have an impact on the seats, especially if the race is close. So it will delay the ability of the EOJ to make declarations in the various seats. So it's going to be a knock-on problem later on. Maxine, what's the weather like where you are? Is that like to have a hand in how voting progresses until 5 o'clock?
Well, we had some showers of blessings earlier. At about 2:30 in almost all communities across St. James. But that was just brief. However, what I noticed, a lot of tents around, proper tenting. I think both sides went all out this time to ensure that coverage was provided. And then there's also branded umbrellas by both sides. So the umbrellas are clear, but within that formation is the logos. But the persons are fully equipped. Raincoats and all. Some came out here up in South St. James. Proper equipment are in place for the voting to continue.
Maxine, you know this ground, you know the whole space better than anybody I know. It's entering the last hour, 3:46 now, 14 minutes to 4, and then 1 hour until 5. You expect the bulk of the voting to come in now, or the bulk of the voting has happened already across the areas that you're traversing?
No, based on what is in front of us here on the ground, the bulk of the voters are rolling in at this time.
Hear you on that. Thank you very much for the report, Maxine. All the best. We'll catch up.
No problem. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Maxine Bisesa there out there for us in St. James. Kevin says he wants a little break and a time signal.
Mark's the Superstore, Lionel Town and Portland Cottage View, Clarendon has all your hardware needs.
Visit our expanded showroom today and shop at leisure for your building materials, furniture, and appliances.
Take advantage of the 10% discount every Thursday on all brands cooking gas.
The Time by Mark's Superstore, helping you build dreams from the ground up is
Honeybee and Kareem time, 3:47.
So where you get? The new Popeyes blackened chicken sandwich, my girl. The flavor just hits different. Blackened like it burn up? Nah, man. Blackened because of the color of the Louisiana herbs and spices. Blackened like the flavor buck. No breading and the seasoning soak deep in the chicken. But get yours and try it, cause me nah share yours. Get the new Popeyes blackened chicken sandwich. Limited time only. Love that chicken from Popeyes.
The following hurricane tip is brought to you by PowerTech Jamaica. Reinforce windows with plywood or storm shutters. Clean gutters, check your roof, and tie down loose outdoor items. A single flying object can cause major damage. When the power fails, don't be left in the dark. PowerTech supplies Jamaica with reliable UPS systems and backup generators, perfect for homes and businesses. The preceding hurricane tip was brought to you by PowerTech Jamaica. Telephone 876-908-0196-9.
Ew! Baby, you sick? Drink this. Strong back tonic wine. Oh, baby, you look like you want to sort out. You think that's all Trang back good for? This delicious tonic wine has natural ingredients like Busy, Medina, Moringa, and more to strengthen your body so you can fight off anything, including viruses, where it sound like you catch. Available island-wide, all foreign. Order at 749-1286 option 1 or IG Trangback TW. Trangback! Straighten your back for make the attack.
3:49 p.m. 3:49 p.m. We are coming down to the last hour. You said, Kevin? Tanzara is in central Manchester. Is she, or isn't she's in northeast Manchester? I know she's in Manchester. She's in central Manchester. Michelle is saying. Good afternoon, Tanzara.
Hi, George. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to your listeners as well.
Excellent. Where are you precisely, and what is happening there?
All right, I just left a division. Well, I don't know if it's a division, an area in Belfield called Davyton.
Yes.
Where there was some chaos. It's alleged that the PNP supporters were blocking the road and kind of protesting.
Yes.
Preventing the JLP supporters from coming in to cast their votes.
We actually spoke to Rhoda Moy Crawford, Tanzara, who was actually in the space and told us about the police's intervention and that the bottleneck has been cleared.
Yes, so we're now heading to Banana Ground. We're driving behind Rhoda. She asked us to come with her because she's also learning that there are some issues there as well. So we're en route as we speak, trying to see what is happening. So I'll have another update for you in short order.
Tanzara, as you make your way through the space, describe for me the activity you see on the road from runners for both parties going to and fro, trying to pick up people. Is it intense activity or the odd vehicle here and there?
Well, in some areas it is more intense than others. The support for both parties has been pretty steady. You know, some areas more than others. Like, I just left Davyton where you had an overwhelming support of PNP. So, as it is right now, it just depends on the area.
Mm-hmm. Understand.
Some more than some.
Understand. Some areas more active than others. All right, keep at it. We'll check back in with you as you make your way.
For sure.
Good.
No problem. Thanks.
Tanzara Jackson there for us in central Manchester. Northern Clarendon. Alric Swaby, a man who does not know Clarendon under normal circumstances, but he has a driver, so he couldn't get lost. He's in Northern Clarendon for us. Good afternoon, Alric.
Good afternoon, George. Good afternoon to you as well. Yes, George. I am in Northern Clarendon, as you said.
What? I'm hearing you, Alric. Where exactly are you and what's happening?
Well, I just left Northern Clarendon before I'm heading back over to North Central Clarendon. But over in Northern Clarendon, I just left. I visited a number of polling stations, and I would have thought it was a bit slow in a vote.
Aleric's line is proving to be a challenge, Kevin. I can hardly hear him. So take it up and see if we can reconnect. What I did hear him say was that voter turnout in Northern Clarendon was slow and that he was making his way over to North Central Clarendon, where I want to ask him if he has heard about the incident I reported to you earlier about that gentleman beaten by allegedly by members of his family because he declared that he had voted differently to how they had voted, and they didn't take kindly to that. And the matter was reported to the police. Just want to hear Alric, who's on the ground, if he has heard of that. But he's straddling two of the Northern Clarendon. There's Northern Clarendon, North Central Clarendon, North West Clarendon. He's in two of those three Northern Clarendon seats for us. But the reception up there is challenging at best. And we didn't give him a satellite phone, so Alric is having some trouble connecting with us. We're trying to reestablish the connection, Kevin? Do we have it? All right, let's try again. Alric Swaby, are you hearing me better now?
Yes, I'm hearing you better.
And I'm hearing you much, much better. So you were saying about North Clarendon.
Okay, like I said, I was in North Clarendon. I visited a number of polling stations. The first one we visited was a Morgan's Pass, a basic school in Morgan's Park Division. There 309 persons elected to vote there. 81 persons came out. So the voting has been slow but steady, and they expected to pick up after about 2 o'clock or so. So it should have increased by now. I also visited Colonel Ridge. That's the Church of God of Prophecy. That's where the police station was.
Yes.
130 persons were elected.
Registered. We're on the voters list there. Yeah.
Right. Only 28 came out when we last spoke with them. So, like I said, it's been a bit slow but steady. And I spoke with a number of the outdoor agents. They say the runners are ensuring that the voters will come out. So some voters are expected to come in from work and come out and vote. So the runners are ensuring that they are in place to make a last push as it leads up to 5 o'clock.
Yes, and Eric, I just did the quick calculation. You said Morgan's Pass, so the voter turnout there, you said 300 and odd people were on the list there, 81 turnout, which gives you a voter turnout of about 26% at the time you got those numbers at 2 o'clock. So one would expect that those numbers would pick up as the afternoon progresses. You're making your way across to North Central Clarendon now, are you?
Right, that's why I visited North Central Clarendon earlier this morning. I also visited a number of polling stations. Again, it wasn't anything to
not heightened activity. Not heightened activity
in terms of voter turnout.
Yes.
In terms of the hype around it. I was able to talk with Robert Morgan, and he was pleased with the with how things are progressing. He would have loved a greater turnout, and he expects a push at the end to bring out the voters. There was one bit of disturbance at the assembly of Firstborn. A number of there was one lady in the line wearing a shirt with the picture of the candidate Audrey on Pinty candidate on it, and the electoral workers were stating to her that this cannot be so.
Yes.
But she said since the shirt was turned on the wrong side,
yes,
you should be able to go in with it.
Yes.
However, the picture on the shirt was still visible because of the material and the design of the shirt.
Yes.
So the election workers say that no, it still cannot work as per her instructions. However, I wonder why the woman was still in line, because she had already voted.
Yes.
So I'm not sure. There was a bit of fracas, but the police quickly came and everything calmed down. So
yeah, de-escalated the situation.
Earlier in at North Central Clarendon.
Yes, you know, and the candidate's picture there was O.J. Dixon running against Robert Nesta Morgan. There was a report I got from the police, Alric, I wanted to put to you about an incident in North Central Clarendon. I'm wondering if you heard about it on your travels, where a gentleman from a family went home after voting, told them he had voted differently to how they had voted, and he was beaten, and the police had to intervene. Did you get that report?
No, sorry, I
okay.
I didn't hear that.
That's fine. I got that on confirmed authority that indeed happened. All right, Eric, thank you very much as you make your way across Northern Clarendon. I know the reception is challenging, but we'll try our best to check in with you again.
Most definitely.
Alex Swaby there with us. Northern Clarendon, Dwight Sibley's, Wavell Hines battling there. North Central, Robert Nesta Morgan and O.J. Dixon. Dr. Horace Chang, the JLP General Secretary, has been found by Lisa Andrade Thompson, one of our reporters. She's in St. James. Dr. Horace Chang, of course, the MP for Northwest St. James. We understand he has just cast his ballot. The General Secretary leaving it until late, almost 4 o'clock, but he's done the business. Lisa, are you there? Good afternoon.
Hi, George. I'm here.
And do you have the General Secretary with you?
He is about to exit the building, so I'm about to pass him over there.
Okay, good. So in short order, we'll be able to talk to Dr. Horace Chang over there in Northwest St. James. And the St. James seats, as we said, keenly contested. I see some of my YouTubers disagreeing with what has been said about these St. James seats, as they would. I can tell you though, Dr. Chang is running against a man I have a lot of time for, Alan Bernard, Rastafarian. He is formerly a student at the UWI. I met him in perhaps 2001 when I was a debater with the UTEC debating team, and he was at UTEC, a fine young man, but he has a very, very big task on his hand to unseat a general at these things. Dr. Chang, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Good. I've been on the road all morning. I'm heading back in your direction now, all the way to Westmoreland.
Yes.
Batsu Hanover and Mr. Bayer Constantine.
I am under no pressure, Dr. Chang. The pressure is on you. What are the numbers looking like so far?
Well, the morning turnout, I expect between 15 and 17, and that's what I gather from the election office. I'm not the one who talked before, but I've been constant on down. But I expect we're going to be enough 50% this time. And I said, bear man, 15 more than 15 returns, because we're about the total number of people are there to vote more than 55%. So it's not as people withdrawal particularly by many votes. I'm sure for the chance. You can't just sit with that quite a number of people. And we'll have to take some time to remove at least the devil from the list. So we migrated, we have to make consistent they can come back home, so yes. Keep them on the farmer program, etc. And the second thing we have to do is to get ID cards to voters. The big problem today. But yes. Not interest, but people waiting 2 hours to vote because voters show up with this new ID card and it takes a while to get them circulated. And some of the learning officers who are used to it will move fast, they get a really big class, they look at the picture, etc., and we get the question fast.
Yes.
Some are not so skilled because there are more jobs in it, the fact of life.
Yes.
So there are a lot of people, many people need learning officer no longer come up with learning officer.
Yes.
So we have quite a few new learning officers.
Yes.
And they take a little longer to adjust. So there's some disruption.
You know, Dr. Chang.
In my constituent, almost everybody, my constituents are all post-classes. They're young, just leaving school. The more mature people are already promoting the job side. So the learning officers are promoting the constituency. But some of them are seasoned that they're getting to the job.
We've been getting several reports, Dr. Chang, about long lines, frustrated voters.
Yeah, that's the issue. It's the issue of both not having the current ID and a bit of inexperience on the part of the learning officers. There's a rumor out that people trying to suppress the vote started the Democratic questions in terms of that kind of rumor. A lot of rumors going around.
Yes.
I was told I was traveling with a bag of money this morning by votes. And then I was called by 90 cents to look out for the man who was carrying a couple $1 million in the other direction. So that happens now, and it's part of our, quite frankly, it's part of our culture. And I have to get my candidates to keep focused, do the work, know the voter, and find the voter. And if they do the canvas ready, you know your vote, you do a problem in the party.
We are 58 minutes, Dr. Chang. We are 58 minutes from the finish line. Based on what you have, is the JLP good, in good standing?
I'm confident we're in good standing. And we'll have a comfortable majority. So that's it. If you call me about 5 o'clock, I'll give you a number.
All right, sir.
Okay.
We'll do that. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
All the best. It has been a good exercise in democracy when you travel across. I'm coming from Western and all the way to back in the same weeks.
Very well.
And I think it's something that those who speak loudly about our country need to take note of and do with respect rather than put it down in their own family. That's
all right, sir. Here you are. Thank you.
Yeah, just like we are respected now in crime fighting, reducing murder, we should respect for democracy.
All right, sir. Dr. Horace Chang there, the GLP General Secretary and the man looking to retain Northwest St. James for the GLP. He's battling the PNP's Alan Bernard. Thanks to Lisa Andrade Thomas for setting up that interview for us. Do we continue? Do we take a break, Kevin? Do we take a break? Oh, yes. Break time. Back with more after these. This is Nationwide.
This is the World Championships Athletes Profile.
The Jamaican starts well. Here's Shanika Ricketts, silver medalist. This is round 1 for Ricketts. Oh, hit the board really well.
Triple jumper Shanika Ricketts will be attending her 5th World Championships as she leads Jamaica's medal charge in the event in Tokyo, Japan in September. the 33-year-old former Vere Technical High School standout appeared at the 2015, 17, 19, and the 2022 editions and will be looking for her third medal, having bagged silver in Doha and Eugene. Jamaica's reigning Sportswoman of the Year has won medals at every major global championships, her biggest moment coming at the Paris Olympic Games in 2024, where she won silver.
Shanika Ricketts, twice a World Championship silver medalist, flies down the runway, hits the board brilliantly. Oh, Ricketts turns up to the party.
Ricketts is unquestionably one of the true global stars of the event, and she's steadily building into her season. Who'll bet against her finally hitting the top of the podium in the Japanese capital?
Every season the aim is to be on top of the podium. This season is nothing different, and I think I have too many silver medals now. I'm going for the gold this time.
Ricketts will be in action on day number 4 of competition in Japan on September 14. The final is 2 days later on September 16.
I think it's just about grit and just putting in the work. It doesn't matter what happens before you go into major championships, it's just what happens on the day. And the only way you can control that is by being consistent. So that's what I'm focused on doing.
Follow Shanika Ricketts at the World Championships in Japan on Nationwide 90 FM.
That was the World Championships Athletes Profile.
All right, 4:06 p.m. Slow it down there just a little bit. All right, Karen is online. I don't want to waste Karen phone minutes. Karen, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, George. Finally.
Yes, man. How you do? Talk to me. Where are you calling from?
Good. I'm calling from St. Andrew North Central.
Yes.
And I just want to tell you this morning, I baked in the sun. But, following instructions can sometimes work for the best.
Yes.
So I got this card that said, vote early, vote like this. It told me where to put the X. It told me choose Jamaica. And so I tried to follow instructions and turn up early.
Yes.
Boy, I felt the sweat pouring off of me. I didn't even have a kerchief to wipe my face.
Yes.
And they checked my finger, they put the spot on my finger like twice.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, but it is around, I got there just before 7:30.
Yes.
And it was about 8 o'clock when I finally got in.
Yes.
And, they thought I'd voted before, but they spot the thing twice on my forefinger.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I eventually got to vote and got out of there. And when I tried to get my kerchief, man, the sweat just dropped on the car seat when I bent over to get the kerchief. And I remembered my forefathers,
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, boy, but at least I wasn't cutting cane in the sun. I was just standing.
That's right. That's right. The inner circle song supposed to play in your head. Girl, I want to make you sweat.
Oh, man. But listen now.
Yes.
When I was coming home from work, now it was raining.
Yes.
And I said, I'm so glad I'm not going to vote now.
That's right.
It's a good thing I followed instructions and voted early.
You voted early. Excellent. Excellent.
Follow instructions.
One of the things that we need to have a national conversation about is how the best way for the EOJ to tidy up this voters list, because I don't believe it accurately reflects the people who are here to vote. And I know a lot of people still take it for the ID.
I had my new ID and everything,
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It took long anyway.
It took long anyway. Well, I'm happy you got through.
I am too.
Yeah, man.
And that I didn't have to go back and stand in the rain.
You didn't have it. Better you stand up in the sun than the rain.
Yeah, well, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, man. All right, Karen. Good. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Good. Somebody says, stop, watch the clock, George. But I have to watch the clock because it's all about time, There's a famous, he's world famous. He's in the Guinness Book of World Records. Philip Fiani always tells you, we're talking about times that horses run. He says, kisses his teeth and said, time only matters when you're in jail. And he's right. Time only matters when you're in jail. But when you have a general election on the line, time matters as much as when you're in jail. At 4:09 p.m., 51 minutes to go. So now is the time for your runners and your organizers. No rum drinking between now and 5 o'clock. No smoking between now and 5 o'clock. Every man or woman focused. Every taxi man, whether you're driving a car, you are riding a motorcycle or driving a motorcycle, whatever means of transportation or mode of transportation you're using, you need to focus now. The people who are supervising these people, you need to have been bawling out your throat to a long time. Organize. This is the final push. It doesn't matter how many votes you think your candidate has in the box already. This is the Olympic hour. Yeah? 51 minutes to go. One last push until 5 o'clock. And only at 5 p.m. can you breathe, because those in the line will do what they have to do. Those not in line, you can't do anything about it. And you'd have done all you had to do to help your candidate get over the line first. So in these last minutes of a general election campaign that has been dragging on for about 2 years now, we've been campaigning in Jamaica for a general election. Even amid the local government election, that was part of a general election campaign. We are here with 50 minutes to go. It's about focus. Focus from here. And the fancy word execution, forget that. It is time to get things done. Just do it. Just do it. Spare no effort. Yeah? As I said, turn down the music, put the rum cup one side, butt the weed, put it in a matches box or put it somewhere wherever you put it. I don't smoke, I don't know. But just put down those things and one last push until 5 o'clock. All right, who do I have, Michelle? I'm waiting to get somebody on the phone as we look at 411. And no, I'm now count it minute by minute. Yeah? Stacey's online. Good afternoon, Stacey.
Hi, afternoon, George. Calling back again. Remember I spoke to you this morning?
Yes.
Yes.
You returned?
Location. Yes, and I'm still not getting through it.
Then Stacey, you saw it. How many people in front of you?
Wait, the person came out just now and they counted 17 persons in total in the line. Mm-hmm. I've been in the line since 3:20, and it really hasn't moved. It's about 4 persons I can recall that went in before me. There's 3 PDs at the polling station.
Yes.
And 2 of the PDs moving pretty quickly. I don't know what it is at PD 17. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they're new. I don't know. Well, and it's frustrating.
Well, Stacey, you know what? When we spoke to the Prime Minister earlier today, Ricardo Brooks was with him. I did put the issue to the Prime Minister, and to my surprise, he said he knew. He said he got the same report that you made, and that he had called the matter to the attention of the authorities. So I'm surprised that almost 5 hours later, the problem no fix.
Yeah, it's not changed.
Yeah. Well, guess what now, Stacey? It's a test, And guess what? You go pass the test this evening, because you're
I'm trying to stick it out.
No, try. It is 4:12 now, Stacey. The line will close off in 48 minutes. If you've waited as long as you've waited, what is 48 minutes more?
You're right.
Yeah, man.
You're right,
so stay there and wait. So the force that doesn't want you to vote on this day, they're not going to succeed.
Okay.
All right? Stick with it.
All right. No problem.
Thank you very much, Stacey, over there in West Central St. Andrew, the Prime Minister's constituency. For those of us who said that she should wait, you may have missed the full story. She called me early. Was it after 8? I think it was after 8 she called me to say that she was in the line from polls opened. She was there for an hour, the lady of our business to deal with. An hour, and none of the 8 people in front of her moved. So she left. And she said that she would go back. She did return. And when she returned, she called me to say that, well, I'm in the same situation. Waiting. Because in 7 minutes' time, she would have been there an hour this afternoon after being there an hour this morning and leaving. And she said she not leave. So that's the good thing. Stacey is not leaving. She's sticking with the process as she should. She has to vote this afternoon. What else you have for me, dear Kevin, as we look at the clock inching along? This is Nationwide 90 FM. I remind you that we will break for the news at 5 p.m. Then when we take the news at 5 p.m., we will return about 5:35 with that live show at Revo Central at Digicel headquarters, where the new studio is. That's where we're going to go from 5:35 onwards until we finish. Mr. Johnson is online. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir. Afternoon.
Afternoon. How you do?
I've been fine. Coming from Montego Bay. Rain is falling down here in Montego Bay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What time did you vote?
No, I did not vote as this. I don't vote as this.
Oh, you're in line to vote?
No, on my way.
Then, Mr. Johnston, you cut it so close, Daddy. 4:14. You're going to reach in time. How far you have to go?
No, once a long time, so we can reach in time.
Okay, you can reach in time. Well, all right. And whatever time you have to, you get in, you're going to stay in the line patiently, eh?
Right. Yeah.
Very well, sir. Very well, sir. Do you have an idea, without telling me, do you have an idea of where this election is going to go?
Why? Some people say P and some say J. So whosoever. Yeah.
All right, sir. Well, take it. Well, Anglia and fast and go, and then stick with the process. Wherever they catch you after 5, you stay there and you make sure you cast your vote, sir.
Okay. It's falling cats and dogs down there, you know?
Yeah, I can just imagine, man. Maybe rain normal. All right, Mr. Johnson. Thank you.
Okay.
Good. Captain J online is counting with me. He says 45 minutes to go, and I see all kind of predictions in the chat. And people saying what low voter turnout means and all of them things. Josephine Johnson Howell says, check Papine. What should I check Papine for? We've been to Eastern St. Andrew, Josephine. So I don't think we're going back there before 5 o'clock. Kevin, I didn't hear you. 4:15 means the time for a break. This is Nationwide 90 FM. The race to 32. 45 minutes to go. 45.
Since 1995, we've been your go-to source for everything related to billiards, amusement machines, and electronics. With locations at 1A Lindsay Terrace, Kingston 10, and the Village Plaza, Big Bridge, Savannah Lamar, we offer top-quality pool table parts and accessories, cutting-edge gaming machines, and more. We also specialize in assembly, sales, and service of amusement machines. We provide unmatched customer service, expert solutions, and products tailored to your needs. Who are we? We are Eclipse Enterprise. Telephone 876-960-3891.
This is the World Championships Athletes Profile.
Step forward now. Tina Clayton it is. Tina Clayton has been ripping it up.
Tina Clayton heads to her first World Senior Championships as the national champion of Jamaica.
Bang out quickly. Fraser Price is out well. So to Tina Clayton. Tina Clayton comes forward. So to the Shericka Jackson. Tina pulls up. Tina's still there. Tina Clayton. Shericka Jackson and Shelly and Fraser Price. Tina Clayton gets the win this evening.
An injury ravaged 2024 forced her to sit on the sidelines and watched as her twin sister Tia captured the headlines at her first global event, the Olympic Games in Paris. Tina is without question at the forefront of a group set to take Jamaica's female sprinting into the future.
Well, every athlete who wears that yellow vest in the sprints for Jamaica carries a certain responsibility, and at the moment Tina Clayton's carrying it very well. That she's a metre clear of the rest.
There can be no better place to start than at the World Championships. In addition to beating the likes of Shelly and Fraser Price and Shericka Jackson at the Nationals, Tina finished a creditable second at a meet in Hungary against world-class field. Tina has got the two premier female sprinters in the world today in her sights, Melissa Jefferson Wooden and the Olympic champion Julian Alfred.
To stay healthy, that's the main focus for me. I feel really great, and I think everything that have happened this year is based on the setbacks that I had over the years, and sometimes, you know, when things ain't going right, you want to give up, but there's always a little voice to not give up.
The 20-year-old bows into action on the first day of competition in Japan.
Clayton there in lane 5. God bless got away well, but now Clayton's well into a running. Jackson's got something to do, but it's going to be Clayton who's running away from the field, and she's won this in emphatic fashion.
You can follow her progress on Nationwide 90 FM.
That was the World Championships Athletes Profile.
Back with us here as we cover the race to 32, 4:19 p.m. I'm seeing multiple reports of trouble in the Papine area. We're trying to get our team to go to to work from Papine Square and to see if they can find the area of the reported disturbance. But seeing all kind of claims here, won't repeat them because I'm not sure and I don't want to cause unnecessary panic. But yeah, hearing though that too many people are saying that there are, it's popping off in Papine. We're trying to check for you. Northwest St. James is Northwest St. James. We were just in Northwest St. James with the General Secretary, Dr. Horace Chan. There's a caller from Northwest St. James. Okay, good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Mas George Wagwan, man.
My good man, how you do?
Boy, first time I talk to you,
Yes, man. Respect, man.
Yeah, me always call Cliff Hughes, a couple of times, but I haven't spoken to him in a long time.
Yes.
I always call John Luke, but I don't remember me at all,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. I went to vote. The voting here in Northwest, I think in PD 50.
Where? Which polling station? Where?
That's in PD 58.
Yeah, but
and PD 59.
At which location?
That's in South Spring.
Okay, South Spring. Mm-hmm.
Spring at the New Testament Church, the South Spring Testament Church.
Mm-hmm.
That's doing very well, man. I mean, the voting there is professional. People, they are courteous. I am impressed. I went there. They're not. It seemed to me for now it's pretty slow. I mean, not slow. I mean low. But when you go there, you go inside. I think you last 3 minutes. You go in there, take your ID, and they give you a ballot, and you voted, and you come out. It doesn't no hassle. The same thing for up by Maggie, the school.
Yes.
That's near to Flower Hill there.
Mm-hmm.
That's at the PD 57. Yeah, I brought my two sons here to vote as well, and it was just easy flow.
Yes. No hitches for you.
No, man. It was. I'm quite impressed, man. Quite impressed. And I tell you, the people there are very professional, and I think things are doing well.
Yes. There are several people who've called me throughout the course of the day who've said that the presiding officers, the workers that they interacted with inside the polling stations before they go to their PD to vote, very professional, very courteous, and it was a good experience. But there are several others who said, boy, to get inside has been an ordeal, and some people still have not gotten inside it after waiting for hours.
Oh, I tell you, and the police when I went to vote, the police asked me for my ID. So okay, no problem. Just go on that side quickly. They said, move everybody quickly, fast. They took my ID. So okay, you go on that side. You're in PD 59. PD 58, go that side, and the people were there. I mean, if you want cheer, you can get cheer for the old person. They were just courteous, and I want to give the EOJ an excellent, performance for their service.
All right. I hear you on that, man. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, man. Appreciate my brother. All the best, eh?
All right, sir. Thank you very much. 4:22 p.m. 4:22 p.m. We're going to go back to the phones in short order. Still trying to check out what's happening in Papine. Let me see if I've gotten something on it that I haven't seen. One of my friends says, gee, I'm in the heart of Papine and it's as quiet as can be. Nothing is happening here except a laborite and a comrade who are arguing after their cars lightly collided. So I'm being told that message came through to me at 4:22 p.m. So, maybe it's misdirection. I see so many people talking about Papine and there's an issue there. Yeah. I'm being told again that in Chapelton, it's more information on the story I was reporting about that incident between the family member and that man and his family, just confirming that the incident is as I reported. All right, it's 4:23 p.m. Right now. Let me take a short break and come right back with more as we inch up to 5 o'clock, where the polls will close in many places, but will remain open in others because of the number of people who will be in line at those polling stations waiting to cast their ballot.
Buckle up, Jamaica!
The Island Traffic Authority is shifting into high gear to promote safer roads for all. Learn all the best practices in road and vehicle safety when you tune into the ITA Corner during Nationwide This Morning, every Monday at 8:30 a.m. Understand your rights and responsibilities under the Road Traffic Act of 2018 and stay informed about licensing and certification for drivers and motor vehicles. That's ITA Corner, Mondays at 8:30 a.m. during Nationwide This Morning. Don't miss it. The ITA Corner is brought to you by the Island Traffic Authority, steering safety, inspiring change.
This is the World Championships Athletes Profile.
Keep the applause going for the Tokyo bronze medalist. Let's welcome Megan Tapper.
To every single one of you, I am so grateful. Big up on yourself. This is not just for me. This is for you guys.
Megan Tapper is a four-time national champion and still wears the tag as the only Jamaican woman to win a medal in the 100 meters hurdles at the Olympic Games. A major feat when you consider the country's rich history in the event. In September, she goes back to the scene of that historic achievement, the Tokyo National Stadium, where she took bronze in 2021. Only this time looking for more precious silverware, and this time at the World Championship.
Going really well on the near side, Megan Tapper. Megan Tapper storming away with this one, takes it.
Tapper has been in supreme form this season after slamming a world-class field to win the national title.
Megan Tapper goes in lane 6, won the Jamaican Championship 2 weeks ago at Personal Best. She's in fine form.
She again took apart the best in the world to win in the Monaco Diamond League, equaling her lifetime best.
That was the World Championships Athletes Profile.
Before I go to Kimon Thompson in St. Catherine, let me update you. The EOJ at 4:20 p.m., 6 minutes ago, they sent a press release to say voter turnout for the September 3 elections up to 3 o'clock. So these are the numbers that the EOJ had up to 3 p.m. The voter turnout up to 3 p.m. was 30.41%. 30.41%, while the turnout for the local government by-elections is 27.35%. So voter turnout up to 3 o'clock, the EOJ says 30.41%, while the turnout for the local government by-elections, 27.35%. The EOJ says, very important line, voting will continue until every person in line at 5 p.m. is allowed to cast their ballot. Voting will continue until every person in line at 5 p.m. is allowed to cast their ballot, is what the EOJ is saying. So at 11 a.m., voter turnout in the general election was 14.8%. 4 hours later, at 3 p.m., it was 30.41%. So it remains to be seen if we will crack the 50% mark by the time the vote is, the process is complete after 5 p.m. I say after 5 p.m. because, of course, there are several people in line, and at 5 p.m. we won't get the actual voter turnout. Just reminding you that September 2020, the voter turnout was 37.85%. We will confidently beat that. We will get more people than the 37.85%, which turned out in, or who turned out in 2020. It's just a matter of how near to that 50% mark, and if indeed we will breach the 50% mark by the end of the day. Kimon Thompson, we're in Portmore, St. Catherine. Are you? What's happening?
Hi, George. Good afternoon, and good afternoon to your listeners and your viewers. I am in Waterford, in
Southeast St. Catherine.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I was distracted a little bit by some chanting and cheers I heard in the background. So, we are at Waterford High School, which has a cluster of about 16 TVs. inside the voting, in terms of the numbers, there are not very many people lined up. In fact, some of the polling divisions are empty.
Yes.
A few of the EOJ officials who spoke to us off the record said they expected that the traffic would have been higher.
Yes.
But based on the rough calculations that we got from the party agents who are stationed outside the polling area, based on their numbers, based on the number that they've checked off on their sheets and the total registered numbers, I'm calculating that the turnout has been 32.08% so far.
In Southeast St. Catherine?
Right.
Which is very close to the EOJ's overall turnout at 3 p.m. at 30.41%.
Okay. And my calculation is very rough, because as you know, I wouldn't have exact numbers.
Yes.
Right.
All right. So with half an hour to go, you would describe the feeling as what? Low energy going up to 5 o'clock in Southeast St. Catherine? At least in the party you are?
Building. When we started, I said I was distracted by some cheering that I heard. I'm hearing bells ringing and some vuvuzela. So it's kind of building the energy. When we just got here, though, there was music playing at a property adjoining the school. Like a party atmosphere, when we just arrived. And it struck me because I thought of the regulations that talked about, people congregating in close proximity to where the poll is happening.
Yes.
I did even speak to some of the police personnel on the ground, and they said, they reminded me it was about 100 meters distance that people are supposed to be away from.
But that is not being respected, eh?
And, well, according to the police, it's far from the actual polling station, far from the classroom areas of the school.
Yes.
Even though it's adjoining the school.
Yes.
Like just a fence separating the two areas.
Yes. So, well, as you've moved about, any sign of any of the leading candidates moving around with any group of supporters trying to bring energy in this last push to the wire?
Not the leading candidates, no. When we were at Cumberland High School, where Robert Miller voted, he didn't have a large following. It was him, his wife, and two people from his campaign team. But it wasn't like a motorcade or any kind of large gathering.
Yes. And what about when Dawes voted? Where did he vote?
I did not see when Dawes voted. He voted at Portmore Lions Civic Club.
Yes.
At about 9 o'clock this morning.
Okay.
So I wasn't there for that.
Yes. All right. Well, guess what? We're inching close to the wire, Kimon, and the questions that we all are asking will soon be answered. And you won't have to do any more rough calculations for the rest of the day.
Well, I'm going to head now to the Gregory Park division in East Central St. Catherine to see what the energy is like there.
There you go. All right. Kimon Thompson there for us. She is working in Portmore St. Catherine, covering South St. Catherine, Southeast St. Catherine, and you just heard her mention East Central St. Catherine.
Satisfy your craving for Cajun with Popeye's crispy chicken and Cajun fries. Love that chicken at Popeye's. The time by Popeye's crispy chicken and Cajun fries is
4:33 p.m.
At the Jamaica Customs Agency, we care for our employees, customers, stakeholders, citizens, and our country. Customs cares. The temperature by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
31 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 31 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, and where Mandeville is concerned at this time, it's 28 degrees Celsius. Have Patricia in Mount Salem on the line. Good afternoon, Patricia.
Yes, good afternoon. Calling to report that in Mount Salem, Rosemont Gardens to be exact, PD 32.
Yes.
them a move slow up there. They were moving slow this morning. I don't know what happened this morning. Because you see, my mother left go up there to go vote. And at 12 o'clock before she come down back, and my vote there Northeastern St. Catherine immediately left out because she did just go vote.
Yeah.
And come down back and she did have a
Yeah.
Me get to go to Northeastern St. Catherine because I done arrange the people and to come pick me up a bag walk already. And she don't come back till 12 o'clock. Me couldn't risk my life now to go up here and a bus me a take.
Oh gosh.
You understand what
Yes,
I say?
yes.
What them I do so long for PD 32?
So hold on there. Is your mother in the background?
Yeah.
Let me talk to her and hear her experience. Assume talk back to you. Come Mummy, come tell me what happened at PD 32. What happened?
What one person take too long in there, like they're not trained to do it. They are just learning to do it. One person take long to come out for another person to go in. Everybody were complaining and we were talking about it. The people that they couldn't get through to move out for next people to come in.
About how long it took you? About how long it took you? About how long it took you? How long it took you from the moment you joined the line to when you finish? About how long?
I wasn't about 2 hours.
2 hours?
Yes, about 1 hour to 2 hours.
That's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, it's a long time because I was standing there a long time. People leave and go under the tree, go sit down and stay long and come up back.
Yes.
And the other side was moving so fast. And I don't understand why that side is what was moving. I don't know if they don't.
PD 32, where again, you say? Tell me again, where?
Rosemount Gardens housing scheme.
Rosemount Gardens, the community center you voted at? PD 32?
Yes, the community center.
All right.
It wasn't good enough. I didn't like it.
Yes, I'm making a point of it. All right, put my daughter on the phone because she never got to vote.
No, because of this. Okay.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
So your business mashup, you couldn't get to go to St. Catherine to vote?
Exactly.
Oh boy. You see, this is the sad part of it, you know. Yeah? Because you arranged your day to go and vote, but Mommy took too long to come back.
Not hearing you.
No, I'm saying you arranged your day to go across, but Mommy took too long to come back, so you couldn't go again.
Arrange my day, go on the website, pull up my information, put in my name, my date of birth, and pull up and know it's polling place and everything. I'm gonna get to go arrange with the driver, them everything.
My God.
Yeah, and then keep on call me. But then me tell them I can't risk my life because you don't know when an election day and I go to traveling at night.
Yes.
We're not really sure. We know so we want peaceful election, but we're not really sure what will happen after.
Yes.
When they start counting the ballot them.
Yes.
Understand?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't get to go.
I'm happy you called and told Jamaica what happened to you. Thank you for the call this afternoon. I'm sorry you don't get to vote. You hear?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I really appreciate the work that you're doing as well.
All right.
You could get through and go in this town.
Easy. She could get through. Thank you. There's an item of news that I just come to hand. Remember, listeners, viewers, I was telling you earlier that there was a rumor circulating, a meme about a certain individual being arrested. Well, I get a statement here. The Financial Investigations Division is aware. This is a press release from the FID. The Financial Investigations Division says it is aware of a fabricated story currently circulating on social media platforms which falsely claims that the department has ruled to charge the Most Honorable Prime Minister of Jamaica with breaches of the Proceeds of Crime Act and other corruption-related offences. The FID says it categorically states that this claim is false, baseless, and malicious. The department has issued no such ruling, announcement, or statement. The statement continues, as a law enforcement agency within the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service, the FID operates strictly within the laws of Jamaica. All investigations are conducted in keeping with established protocols, and any public communication regarding charges or proceedings is made formally and through legitimate channels. The FID says it is urging members of the public to be cautious in sharing unverified information from unreliable sources. Spreading misinformation not only undermines the reputation of individuals and institutions, but it can also erode public trust in Jamaica's justice system. The FID is reminding the public that official updates on matters under investigation are provided directly by the department through its website, official social media pages, or through reputable news outlets. The department remains committed to its mandate of combating financial crimes, ensuring accountability, and protecting Jamaican financial systems in the interest of all Jamaicans. People are, well, I don't know. It is not a laughing matter. What am I to do? How is it that on election day, the FID is moved to issue a statement to say that there is no truth to a story circulating widely and wildly on social media platforms, claiming that the FID has ruled that Andrew Holness be charged with breaches of the Proceeds of Crime Act and other corruption-related offences? The FID says it's false. It's a vicious rumor. You should not circulate it if you get it, and you should move on. What a life. Let's take a break, Kevin, and come back.
Home is more than a roof over your head. It's safety, dignity, and pride. This is why the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development continues to build and furnish concrete houses for our most vulnerable through the Indigent Housing Program. Since the program's inception, we have built more than 100 houses and another 45 will be constructed this financial year. We're building sturdy homes for Jamaicans who need it the most. Built strong, built to last. Local government is working for you.
Welcome back to Nationwide 90 FM. And the police know. Listen to this one now. The police have just issued a statement to say that there was a bomb threat at the BPO by Ken's Wildflower in Portmore, St. Catherine. We all know Ken's Wildflower on Port Henderson Road. That there was a bomb threat at the BPO by Ken's Wildflower, the BPO at the back. The police say the workers are outside and they're trying to assess the situation. So it's all happening in this last hour of the day. Bomb threat at the BPO by Ken's Wildflower in Portmore, St. Catherine. The workers are outside. The police say they are on top of the situation. I'm going to Tawna Thomas, who's in St. Elizabeth for us. Good afternoon, Tawna.
Good afternoon, George. Good afternoon to our listeners and our viewers. The final, 18 minutes before the polls close and the gates close, I am at the Knoxwood Basic School, which is in the Mountainside Division in Southwest St. Elizabeth. And can I tell you, George, and our listeners and our viewers, it's so interesting to see the difference in terms of demographics. You have some of the older folks who are rushing in to ensure that they get to their polling divisions and cast their ballot. And then on the other end, you have a lot of young men coming in. They're wearing their T-shirts, shorts, Crocs, sneakers, and they're just strolling in. I'm just having a conversation with Jerome here, my driver, saying the difference in perhaps the importance of the voting process. I don't know, because they seem to be taking it lightly, as if, listen, if the gate closes, whatever, I'll just go back home.
If I saw.
If I saw. That's what I'm getting here. But they're just strolling in. But yeah, just a matter of moments now before the gates here at Knoxwood Basic School and elsewhere in the country will close. I can also tell you, George, that I've been to 5 polling stations across Southwest.
Yes.
Newell High School. I've been to Mountainside Primary, Big Woods Primary, Mountainside Basic, and as I said, I'm now at Knoxwood, and I was able to ascertain the voter turnout for the different polling divisions. across the different polling stations.
Yes.
And I'm coming up at 38.85. So 39% for the sampling that I've done here in Southwest in terms of a voter turnout here.
Excellent. So that's what Tauna's rough calculation based on numbers she would have received from some of the officials, the party workers and so forth. Based on the numbers she could get, she's worked out that across Southwest St. Elizabeth, based on her sampling, about 39% the turnout in the constituency. Let me see if I can add something to the good work you've done, Tauna. I'm looking at the 2020 sheet just to remind myself of what the official turnout in Southwest St. Elizabeth was in 2020.
51.8%. It was in 2020.
Actually, well, you're not too far off. 52.15. 52.15.
Yeah.
So there you
go.
As
I was saying to Cliff this morning, both of these Southern Belt constituencies, the members of the electorate usually come out and vote in droves, because if you should take it back from 2020 to the other previous elections, George. 2016, it was just over 60%. 2011, it was 68%. And then 2007, in the 70s, it was 74% at that time.
Yes.
So they're known to come out and vote.
Yes.
But a last scramble was happening here because maybe about 40 minutes ago, I stood near to the tents of both major political parties with their workers, eavesdropping a bit on what's happening.
For real.
And they're doing that last scramble, checking back over that canvas. Is there somebody that we've missed? And at one of the particular tents, they did miss a few people. And the workers started to say, how close is the person to the polling station? And then another was saying, she's just up the road, he's just up the road. This one is related to this one. Get this person's number and call this one. Go for this one. So there was that last minute scrambling that was happening to get those final voters that they perhaps had missed to Knoxwood Basic School to cast their ballot before 5 o'clock. We're now 4 minutes away from that.
Tauna is exhibiting traits of a good reporter. Well, more than traits, she's showing that how a good reporter works, eavesdropping to hear the juicy bits. Thank you very much, Tauna. Really appreciate it. Tauna Thomas there, who's been between Southwest and Southeast St. Elizabeth. I see someone in the chat asking about Central Manchester. We've had Central Manchester, about 3 reports from Central Manchester since I came back on at 2 o'clock. You appear to have missed those. But I'm just going back to this bomb threat at that BPO, which the police are on top of. The workers have been told, the workers have left the building, allowing the police to do their work. And the FID having to issue a statement to say that the social media message about the Prime Minister is false and it should not be shared, should not be circulated, as it is a work of people intent on causing harm, sowing confusion. There's no truth to those rumors. All right, let me see. People are not easy. I see someone in the chat, Steve there, this is, why is it that the FID didn't clear up the other rumors? Like which one, sir? Which rumor has emerged on this election day that the FID don't clear up? Also, why I laugh when we read these things with listeners. If you don't laugh, where you go, cause I'm going bad. And you're going to do that every time you see foolishness like that. Might as well just laugh and move on. Yeah? Anyways, we are at 4:47. Jerry is online. Good evening. Good afternoon, Jerry.
Good afternoon, Brother George.
How you doing?
Well, not too bad, man. Congratulations on the work that you're doing, man.
Thank you very much, man.
Really appreciate it, boys. Welcome alternative. Welcome alternative.
Thank you, sir.
What I find out, George, is that there seems to be a challenge with the polling station. I don't know if the workers are very much versed on how to act quickly when there are persons who turn up without an ID. They seem to take so long. Mm-hmm. I'm in St. Mary. Western St. Mary. And I took my wife at the polling station. Both of us went to vote. She has to go to work at 8 o'clock in Ocherest here. And when I was there, I was we stood on the outside for quite some time. The line wasn't too long, and it took us nearly 45 minutes just to vote. And we were told that the reason for that is because there were a number of persons who never turned up with any identification.
Yes.
But I heard you talking to a gentleman earlier this morning, and the man said, I think was a candidate or something like that, and he never had his ID, and it just about 5 minutes it took him. So it seems as if the persons that are there, they are not too versed of how to do this thing quickly. And I'm very much concerned because it seems as if it's a general problem in quite a few of the polling divisions.
The man this morning was just a regular caller. I too did not use an ID when I voted, and I didn't spend 5 minutes in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it creates a lot of frustration. There are so many people getting frustrated. People said they have to go to work, and that's why I come out so early.
Yeah.
And this thing is taking so long. But at one time I was wondering if it's a sabotage.
But you see, what I can say, from reading the Election Day Workers Training Manual myself, and knowing what the EOJ invests in training the workers, I am comfortable saying that the workers are well trained. But sometimes you have experienced presiding officers, people who've done multiple elections, they will handle situations differently from a newbie who perhaps nervous. So if you have a nervous worker, the interface from the EOJ dealing with the process, well trained but nervous, then you have a voter who perhaps not so sharp like me and you, and who do have no ID and does everything slowly. You have to explain everything slowly, or probably explain it again and so forth. And the process is intimidating because they imagine the process to be intimidating. You can see why there are problems.
Yes, I can understand that. But I really hope that it didn't really create a lot of problems, because some persons genuinely were getting a little bit restive.
Yes.
When you see the time, because people have other things to do.
Yes.
And it was listening to the station now, it seems to be like it's a problem. Not only what
many people have the problem, sir. Many people have called about the problem. Yeah. So it speaks to a lot of work, a lot more work that has to go into the process to streamline it. And look, let me tell you this: as media, we see things that regular people don't see in terms of the number of statements that are sent out by certain entities. You see, if the EOJ's public appeals for persons to get the ID card and straighten out their enumeration, if that was the only thing that would cause the process to be streamlined, the process would be perfect. Because the EOJ repeatedly, please get your ID cards, please call your electoral office, visit to straighten it out, go there, do this, do that. The EOJ does the work, but people just don't pay it no mind.
They just don't pay it no mind, and everybody turn up and still expect to get you. I was there with my ID, my wife was there with her ID, a couple other people with their ID, but I was surprised to see a number of other persons turning up without their identification card, and that really kind of slowed the process, man.
Definitely.
But I was really wondering if, while that would slow it up a bit, I was wondering if it had to be a float as it was this morning, brother.
I understand.
And I really hope that it doesn't create a problem here. The old turnout, because people never got the chance to really exercise the right to vote, and because of what took place. I don't know, it seems as if after 5 o'clock this evening, some of the lines gonna still be...
Yeah, man, that's a certainty. That's a certainty. All right, I have to run now.
Anybody know who go there?
Yeah, man.
Before 5 o'clock and stay in the line, you will
That's
vote.
right. Yeah. Thank you very much, man. Thank you for the contribution.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it. All right, sir. Respect. Tam is asking a question in the YouTube chat. Has there ever been a time when the voting time has been extended? Well, the voting time is extended by just what he said. If 5 o'clock is the cutoff time under law, but the law also says if you're in the line at 5 o'clock, then you stay. So to answer the question in brass tacks kind of way, if you're in the line at 5 p.m., and if there are so many in the line at 5 p.m., that the count takes until midnight, then the voting are going to take till midnight for done. So if it's 12 midnight, you're finished processing all of those who were in the line 7 hours before at 5 p.m. when the legal cutoff time came. Then that's what time the voting will end. So that's the answer to the question. The extension of the voting day is not to say, okay, let's move it to 6 o'clock. because that would suggest that at 6 o'clock, all counting done. No. Once 5 p.m. comes, and if you are in line at 5 p.m., however long it takes for those in line at 5 p.m. to be allowed to vote, that's what's going to be done. And whenever time they are finished processing them, that's when the vote in that particular area is said to have ended. I hope I explained it correct. Well, I know I did explain it correctly. I hope you got the gist of it. So 5 p.m. is the official cutoff. He or she who is in line after 5 p.m. will be allowed to vote, even if the crowd in the line at 5 p.m. is so long that it go far over into 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. That's when it will stop. That's the law. Moya is online. Good afternoon, Moya.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cliffield.
My name Cliffield and Moya.
What's your name?
My name George.
Oh, sorry. Good afternoon, George.
Good afternoon, Moya. What are you saying to me now? What?
Yeah, I went to a particular polling station to cast my ballot, and while I was marking the paper, my phone rang and the light flashed because I set it that way.
Yes.
So the supervisor said that my ballot is spoiled because I was taking a pic, which I wasn't taking any picture.
What?
And she said that my ballot is spoiled.
So you had the phone where in your pocket?
Yeah.
So the phone is in your pocket. I know some phones ring with the light because I see them all the time. So your phone rang like that, and the person said you were taking a picture?
Yeah, I was taking a picture.
That's harsh. But they did say the rules do say though, that no phones allowed, So I guess that's the perspective from which they're applying the rule.
She did not tell me that when I went into the polling station. She
said that the reason for declaring your ballot spoiled was because you were taking a picture, which is a false accusation you're saying.
Yeah.
Where did you say it happened again? Tell me again more where it happened.
In Copperidge, the Shiloh Apostolic Church.
Shiloh Apostolic Church. Which constituency is that?
Northwest St. Anne.
Northwest St. Anne. Oh boy, I'm sorry that you didn't get to cast a ballot. And
I felt so bad.
Yeah, because I think discretion could have been allowed. You could have been ordered.
Yeah.
You could have been given a second ballot, given another ballot, I believe. But
yes,
they enforced the rules.
Could have given me, but reason,
Yeah.
Them thing year ago.
Yes. Sometimes these workers, they enforce the rule rigidly because that's what they're told to do. So I know you feel away, but from the perspective of the worker, they will say, look, I'm following the rules, and the rules are the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. All right. Unfortunate that happened to you, Moya. Sorry you never get to vote like me.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Moya there, speaking of her experience in Northwest St. Anne. It's 4 minutes to 5, Kevin. 4 minutes to 5. 4 minutes to 5. Slow down. Let's slow down and pause. It's almost at an end. The official cutoff point. As we've said, 4:57 now. In several parts of the island, persons will still be in the line when 5 o'clock comes. They will be allowed to vote, not because the presiding officer is gracious or doing anybody a favor, but because it's the law. And voting will continue after 5 until the last person in that line is allowed to vote. This may cause results to come in a little bit slower, because if everything was done and wrapped up by 5 o'clock and the counting centers were now activated from 5:01, then you would expect a swift turnaround. But, the fact that late counts will be the order of the day in some parts of some constituencies, it means that the picture will not be organized in quick time, and we may have to wait. Be that as it may, there have been incidents on the day, reports of assault. That Norman Scott one bothers me, and I'm waiting to see more of it tomorrow. What happens from the allegation? We need to hear Norman Scott's side, and of course from people who were there. There's a video I hear. We need to see the video, although you can't be sure it's the authenticated thing you're seeing. But very unfortunate. But I dubbed this day the settlement of all argument, and I hope that whatever the result is, that we will present to you from 5:30, that we will accept the result, whatever it is, and move on. 4:58, I don't need to hang around any longer. The newsreader is here, 5 o'clock news, and then you'll see me in about half an hour if I can get changed and get down to the studio and get powder done. Good things I'm not bad looking. Good things I'm good looking, yeah. In the short time, all right? See you in a few.